What is up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to Ginger Runner Live. My name is Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner. This is episode number 37. I'm very excited about tonight's episode because I'm joined once again by my lovely fiance, the very talented and enjoyable to be around for most of the time lady. This is Kimberly Tashima, a.k.a.
My Long Legs.
And today we're going to talk about what?
My first 50K race.
I can't believe it! Oh my God!
It happened.
I seem to be way more excited about it than you are. And that's because I was along for the entire ride. We're going to rehash it all tonight, guys.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
And a bunch of bonus surprises on tonight's episode as well. So welcome to the show. We're not in the regular location. We are not abroad. We're in Seattle. So hopefully the audio is working, the video is working, and all that stuff. Let us know in the chat if it is, just to make sure. And every time your hair rubs up against the microphone, they're going to hear what your hair sounds like. Welcome. Oh, yeah, it's because it's echoing voice. That was very nice of you not to say anything tonight. Welcome to Ginger Runner Live. I'm going to mute the audio so she doesn't hear what we're saying 30 seconds after we say it. Enjoy the show. Here we go. Ginger Runner. Yay! 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 I'm sorry. I forgot to mute the actual live stream, so Kim was so polite in not saying anything at all, but it was blasting my annoying voice in her ear that whole time.
Also my voice.
Well, yeah, and also your voice. Mine's the annoying one. It's hard to talk when you're listening to someone yell loudly in your ear, so I apologize for that.
It's okay. We'll probably still get married.
Maybe. Maybe. We'll see about after this weekend. Holy crap. Big show tonight because you're going to hear about the entire 50K experience from Kimberly. First 50K experience. I remember mine in pretty vivid detail, but I also blacked out a lot of it. So this is kind of the first time that I've had anyone on the show who just finished the first ultra experience to talk about it and kind of how it compares to the marathon and half marathon and all that kind of stuff. Before we really get into the story, a couple of things I want to talk about tonight on tonight's episode and are very, very important. First of all, it is the last day to donate for Team UNICEF. I am running the New York Marathon, which I'm so excited about. Yay! A part of Team UNICEF, but I'm also running with some good friends of mine, Shay Carl. He's a big YouTuber, incredible dude. He'll be running it, and a bunch of his friends. We're all running it together with Team UNICEF, and we're all raising money for charity. At this point, I did the math, I'm $625 away from reaching my goal. That's
so close.
$625. So tonight, my goal during this show is to reach that goal of $3,500. The link to donate, and you can donate $10, $12, it doesn't matter. Every little bit counts, especially tonight during tonight's show, because if we get there, here's the deal. I have this delicious, amazing beer from Driftwood Brewery, which is Victoria, British Columbia. I love their Fat Tug IPA. An amazing fan of Ginger Runner, Samuel Smith, brought this to the Oregon Coast 50K and was like, listen, I know you like IPAs. I know you like good beer. I chugged this all the way from Victoria, BC, specifically for you. So he gifted it to me, and I'll be drinking this tonight. I will finish this during the course of the show. If we reach the goal of $3,500, I usually don't condone this kind of behavior, but we're celebrating a victorious race / Victoria beer. I will also down the Portland beer. This can
looks a lot like I looked on Saturday.
This is Abominable Winter Ale, which is also pretty amazing. So I'll put this down as well if we reach the goal. And I've already put this out there. If we reach the goal tonight, I am going to release what I'm very excited about, my 10-mile hyperlapse film. And many of you are like, I don't know what that is. Whatever. I don't care. I ran 10 miles and videotaped the entire process. I didn't cut it or anything. It's one long take. It's 2 hours because it's trails and it's hills and mountains and stuff. But I filmed the entire experience and I hyperlapsed it. So it's super smooth cam all the way through a 10-mile trail run with me. And I'm like, it's really cool looking and I'm really excited to share it. I only want to share it if we reach the goal tonight. So during the course of the show, while Kim's telling her story and stuff like that, I'll be keeping an eye on that. So please, the link is in the description of this live stream. Just go to the description. It says donate to Team UNICEF, or I forgot what I put. Click the link. $10, $11, $50. People have donated incredible amounts, and I'm so thankful. And for those who have donated, you might get a little special something a little bit later. So I thank those of you who have already pitched in, which it's incredible. You guys are coming together and donating to a really great cause for the kids, and it's awesome.
That's what it's about.
So that is the business side. The buffs have been manufactured. They're being delivered to my house in Los Angeles. Once I count them, make sure everything is there and accounted for, which will probably be either at the end of this week or next week, I will ship them out to you, those who purchased the buffs. There might be some leftovers, like not a huge quantity, very small quantity, but those will go on sale at a very later date, probably sometime in November, and I'll make sure to put announcements and stuff on the Facebooks and Twitters and stuff, and hopefully the websites won't crash. Hopefully that doesn't happen, because I had to upgrade and pay a lot of money to upgrade, so hopefully that was worth it. We'll see. I'm gonna open this beer.
I would like to also open my beer.
Yeah. Before we get into the storytelling, we gotta libation ourselves up. Not real words.
Can you open my mini beer?
Of course. I should have done yours first. There you go. What are you drinking tonight, babe?
I'm drinking Widmer Brothers Hef.
It's great hef. Widmer. It's great hef. Let us know in the chat. Yeah, Portland, I believe. Yep. Let us know what you guys are drinking tonight if you're in the chat room. Could be water, could be milk, could be electrolyte fluid, could be beer. Who knows? In the chat room, Baker McCool says 10 miles at rocket speed. That is indeed what a hyperlapse is.
It looks really awesome. You guys are going to want to see it.
That is good.
Armpity?
Not even. This is a double IPA. It's the 20-pounder double IPA from Driftwood Brewery in Victoria. That is smooth. That is really good. Really hoppy, malty, but that's really good. 9%. We know what that means. It's going to be one of those kind of shows.
Means we're taking a taxi home from here.
Possibly. That could be how this ends up. I'm going to be keeping my eye on the chat room. If you're watching live, please feel free to ask questions during the story and the rehash of the race. I will relay them to Kim on the fly, obviously. Someone said the link did not work. Hopefully it does. Check the Ginger's Facebook or Twitter feed for the link. Yeah, and as soon as we get started, I'll update that link. I thought that it would work. I can always check that. You can also just Google CrowdRise, CrowdRise, and Ethan Newberry. It'll just bring the first link, which is the CrowdRise funding page for me. Great, donated. I love it. All right, I love seeing that. Any other business? I'm trying to think before we move on. Oh, of course. Where the hell are we?
We are at the Confectional.
The Confectional. We did a broadcast from here after, what race was that? We've done another, I forget what race.
Gorge?
Maybe it was Gorge. Yes, it was Gorge.
Yeah.
After the Gorge 50K, we did a Ginger Runner live from this location as well. This is the home of the Confectional. You can go to theconfectional.com, or confectional.com will forward you, but it's theconfectional.com. Basically, they sell and create the most magical cheesecakes in the world.
They're the best thing you'll ever put in your mouth.
I'm not even kidding. They're personal sized cheesecakes. They also make larger ones. They make bite-sized ones.
If they're personal, does that mean I can't have more than one?
Kim, you can have as many as you want based off of this weekend's experience.
They're delicious.
You can order them and they will ship to you fresh. It takes like a day, if that. They're all ice cold and they ship to you, and they're so damn good. Our good friends run the company, or like co-owners, and create the goodness. We might even have a sample here that we will show you and eat and devour a little bit later. And we have one of the co-owners here as well, who we might have pop in and delight you with her amazingness.
Delightfulness.
So that is theconfectional.com, and you can always just go there and check out the cheesecakes and stuff like that. We have to give them the proper accolades because it's awesome, and awesome of them to let us use the space.
Yes.
What do you say about getting this show pony activated?
Show pony?
Show pony?
Let's activate it.
Let's activate it. Show pony activated. I'm entirely too loud. I'm talking too much. Babe, take it away.
I need to start by saying, one, I think I've actually blocked out a lot of what happened on Saturday. So I'm going to have to rely on Ethan to help fill in a lot of the voids that happened. Where should we start? I mean,
do you remember that part?
Where I started?
I hope that's part of the I remember this.
Yes. So the race was, of course, on Saturday. We ran the Oregon Coast inaugural 50K, so first year of the event. Rainshadow Running, which is an amazing race company. We've been to one of their other races.
Rainshadow race, yeah, Gorge.
Yeah, Gorge, and we'll be going to Orcas in February as well.
Yeah.
They always put on just amazing events. So when I decided to do my first 50K, there wasn't even a doubt that it would be a Rainshadow race. So the race started on Saturday along the Oregon coast. In the actual race start line, it was in Walport. So they had the 50.
They're calling me a Russian submariner in this shirt. This is 100% a Russian submariner shirt. I'm looking at it in the live feed, and if all I needed was one of those little Russian submariner caps with the little tassel. Welcome to the submarine. We'll take down the Americans.
Maybe we can get one of those. Maybe somebody can bring one to us while we're live.
I'm going to keep my eye on the chat room.
All right. Okay.
Sorry.
I don't know what that was.
It's a working office space. It's a working office space.
So they bussed us down from Yachats to Walport, and that's where they had the 50K start. We started right on the beach. It was beautiful and awful.
You got to set it up. You got to set it up better than that.
I'm sorry. I'll leave. You just tell the whole story.
Let me just tell the whole story.
I'll just glue my hair on your head.
So the whole race takes place on the Oregon coast. For those of you who haven't been to the Oregon coast, it's rugged. It's gorgeous. The weather is unpredictable. It's sandy, super smooth sandy beaches, and it's huge rock cliffy outcroppings, plus old growth lush green forest. So this race takes place on a very large section of that. The first 6 miles of which are on the sand, literally running along the beach. Mm-hmm. And the last 24 miles of which are a little bit in some neighborhood running up to the trail, and then the trail just goes up into the forest and into the mountains and into the mainland, and it's incredible views. And it's on from the photos that they posted before the race and from the race profile and from the maps, you're looking at it going, how can this exist? How can it be any better than this? It's everything that I ever want in an ultra, with what was listed as 4,000 feet of elevation. So you're like, it's probably runnable. And the first section is on sand, so you're like, it's probably runnable. It's a great, in your mind, you're going, this is a great first ultra.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, then you get to the start line, which is 6 miles outside of Yachats.
Yeah, so the start line, I mean, we knew going into this that the first 6 miles was going to be on sand. I've been doing sand running training in Vancouver, and the sand in Vancouver is much softer, much fluffier. So in my mind, I'm like, well, if I'm doing my sand training in Vancouver, I'm going to be just fine. First 6 miles flat, I'm going to be able to kind of bank some time. Well, we got to the start line, and it was raining sideways. It was blowing wind so hard that when we first started running, I was giving, everything I had plus, and I was feeling exhausted and barely going a pace that I would normally run on flat.
It's incredible to start on the beach. I remember walking. You're with. We don't know how many started.
No, we still need to get the stats. I don't know what the.
We know 153 or 154 finished the race, but we don't know if it was 200 that started. We don't know, but you're walking from the parking lot down to the beach with 100 other runners or 200 other runners, and you're the only people on this beach.
And it's like this huge, vast.
So cool. And you kind of stand there. There's no start line. It's just you're in a big group.
They drew it in the sand.
They just drew it in the sand. And you kind of look around, you're going, we're in the middle of nowhere. We're running on the beach. I can see 6 miles. Well, you can't because of the weather.
It made me feel really tiny.
Yeah,
it made me feel like I was just tiny and just kind of like.
So cool, though. Such a cool moment. I tried to get it on film, but by the time we got down, there was like a countdown for 10 seconds. And
then we were off.
Yeah. Oh, so I was running with Kim to document her entire experience. So I try to get as much of it on film. I wish I had the clips to show you tonight. I don't, but I might tease some stuff over the coming weeks as I edit the film. But I was there to film her whole experience, so I'll let you take it.
Yeah. So the first 6 miles, as I said, flat beach. Early on, I was having a little bit of trouble. I remember turning to Ethan and like, I couldn't see anything. I tried, you know, running without my sunglasses on, tried running with my sunglasses on. I was just constantly like wiping. All I could taste in my mouth was just the salt from the salt water blowing up from the ocean. And it was just wet and windy, and I was just fighting the whole time. I remember turning to Ethan and being like, I'm working way too hard. I'm working too hard already.
Mm-hmm.
And just feeling tired already. But, you know, looking at my watch, I was looking at my pace thinking, there's no way that I'm only moving this slow. But we were.
Yeah, you went into this wanting to take the first section because we knew it was flat. You wanted to just take it easy. You know, you weren't going to try to push it too hard. You were still going to warm up to it, right? You were like warming up to the distance, get the 6 miles done, then you only have a 24-mile race, really.
Yeah.
So.
At the same time, you know, going into it thinking, okay, this is going to be like, you know, a 6-mile warm up, taking it easy. I also knew that it was flat. So I was hoping to kind of bank a little bit of time in that flat, knowing how tight the cutoffs were throughout the day. So it didn't really work out that way, but that's fine. So yeah, so we ran and we were running. And in the distance, you can kind of see these big kind of water crossings coming across.
No, you're
right.
Redundant. I mean, it's like there were the natural spring waters coming off of the mountains. But you see, you know, when you're walking along a beach in the ocean, there's those little rivers that go straight into the sea, right? They're coming from the mainland out to the water. So in this case, there was 3 or 4 of those that they weren't like, oh, little puddles. They're like 6 inches to a foot deep.
Yeah. And we knew there was going to be, we knew there was going to be water crossings, and I kind of look forward to them because I like adventure.
Yeah, totally.
So we kind of battled it out. It took us a long time on the beach. We were on the beach for quite a while. And all I wanted the whole time we were on the beach was to get off the beach.
It was as soon as you saw it, as soon as you got to the point. I mean, we're just kind of ticking through the miles at this point. We're running into 20, I don't know how fast, but it was at least 20-mile-per-hour headwinds just blowing right into us. So
I'm telling you, you couldn't hear anything. You couldn't see anything.
Yeah, anytime you'd be like, how you feeling? I'm like, I can't hear you. What? How you feeling? What? How you feeling? Fine.
Sneaker wave?
Sneaker wave. But once you saw land, or not land, we were on land. Once you saw there's a little like dirt path up off the beach and into the mainland, you were so excited. And we both had to pee so bad at that point.
I was like, is that it? Are those people going up there?
Yeah.
I was pretty excited. Probably the most excited. Well, no, not the most I was excited all day, but.
You were, all day? Yes, that was probably the most excited you had been. Yeah.
Yeah. So up off the beach we go, and it was another, I guess, maybe mile before we actually got to the first aid station, which I think was mile 7.
Yeah, 7-ish, yeah.
So we kind of run along the ocean behind some beach houses, and pretty soon you can hear the aid station happening, and I had a bunch of friends waiting for us there, which was kind of cool because there was a lot of the 30K racers who were starting at 11 a.m. that day. So that was kind of fine. I went into it thinking I was probably going to change my shoes, probably going to change my socks at that aid station because they'd warned us how wet and sandy we were going to get. But being from Vancouver and running in wet, dirty socks and shoes all the time, I just carried on through.
Yeah, it was fine.
So, it was no big deal.
Yeah, we thought that we would switch out. But we had the option, but it wasn't necessary.
We were going to get wet and dirty all day anyways. So
kept pushing on.
So we kept pushing on. So after that aid station, you take, I think it's just maybe 2 miles running through the residential neighborhoods.
Sorry. Matt and Carrie Stebbins, who are part of the Rainshadow Running crew, are watching.
Matt and Carrie,
thank you guys so much. We can't thank them enough because they were in charge of making sure that this race went off without a hitch, and it didn't. Aid stations were on point. Volunteers were on point. Rainshadow races, if you guys live around the globe and you want to look for just some epic races that will take you to epic locations, the Rainshadow races by far have been just mind-blowing where they take you for these runs on these trails. So Matt and Carrie here in the chat room, thanks. They said we had 197 registered entrants on race day, but 30 did not start, so we had about 167 starters, which is pretty typical with a destination race like OC. Yeah, it is a bit of a destination.
Yeah.
There's a bit of driving.
It's a bit of a trek.
Yeah, but it's
worth it.
And if you can plan a vacation a couple days before and after, there's so much to explore in that area up and down the coast. So thanks, Matt and Carrie, for jumping in there. Okay, cool. We have that figure stat.
Good. That's what we've been wondering about.
Yes, thanks.
So a couple miles in residential and along the 101 before we actually cut up into the trails. right?
Which we think is the Oregon Coast Trail.
I think that's what the signage
along the
said.
roads, and then it kind of cut over to the other side of the 101 and then up into the trees. And you still parallel the road for a bit.
Yeah.
Until you get to mile 14, which is the first, or second aid station.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of duck into the trees, but before you even get to that, I guess there's still a lot more before we even get to that.
There's a lot happens between that and mile 14.
I need to shut the fuck up.
So already at this point, when we're not even up on the trails, I'm already feeling a little bit not great. I'm feeling a little tired. Feeling, I don't know what happened. This race has been a race that I really wanted, and a race that I've really, really been spot on with my training. So I don't really know what it was, but I knew that when Ethan kind of made a joke as we were running kind of close to the 101, there's a little strip of trail, and he kind of looks at me and goes, "Oh, this is my favorite part of the trail. It's going to be my favorite part of the trail all day," or something. He made like a little joke.
It was like an alleyway. It was like a 30-foot alleyway. I was like, "Oh, that's my favorite part of the trail." I turn around and Kim's just... she's just not having it. I'm like, oh, great. It's going to be a long day. If I can't even crack this joke in mile 7, 8, it's going to be a long day. And
Whoops.
It was. Whoops.
It wasn't a long day.
Oh, we fought.
Who
that was my
are
favorite,
you?
That was my favorite section of the trail. And it made me feel so bad about it. No, sorry.
So maybe you can give me a little bit of help as far as...
Did you black this part out?
Well, just as far as where we were for mileage and when the climb started.
Yes. So basically, we get out of the neighborhoods, and this is kind of where like the fun, lush forest stuff begins. You saw some of our pictures on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. The path there's 3. Sorry, it's really good, and it's gonna smell. There's 3 climbs in this race. It's basically a giant lollipop. The lollipop itself is the biggest climb.
Mm-hmm.
You basically climb a giant mountain and you run down the backside. But at the bottom of the lollipop is a little creek, and that little creek is a giant uphill and a giant downhill. Pretty steep. Power hiking for most of it. I mean, some of these guys, I guarantee you will be able to run this thing.
Yeah.
Going up the first time, it's runnable, but the backside is super steep. So when you come back up the backside, it's not super fast or runnable at all.
Challenging.
But man, the views you get at the top are incredible. It's about 1.5 miles up on the way back, so that means probably 2 miles, maybe 3 miles up on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
You climb, I don't know, anywhere from 500 to 800 feet. I don't have the stats in front of me, but it's a pretty good climb. We start going up the climb. This is the first one of the day.
So keep in mind, I train on the North Shore in Vancouver, so climbing is not something that's foreign to me.
Climbing is not an issue for you. Technical, not an issue for you, because Vancouver has technical and crazy steep. This was neither. It was just a really good, steady, hard climb. Not technical at all. Beautiful trail. I mean, we're talking trail that's like... I'm like, this is gorgeous, babe. Look around. This is gorgeous. And this is when the dry heaving started. Kim basically from mile 8 or 9, once we got up into the trees. By the way, it says we're experiencing a little bit of network issues. I want to make sure.
Dinged in my ear.
Yeah, it says check your connectivity. I apologize if you guys are not able to see us or hear us. Just confirm in the chat room if you want. We're just going to continue. But, I know. It's just saying. Okay, great. So we basically started this climb, and this is kind of where the real tough race for Kim began, both physically and emotionally and mentally. I mean,
yeah, for whatever reason, I started to break down very early on in the race. I don't know why. I still don't know why. I don't know if it came down to like me putting on like an extreme amount of pressure on myself for this particular race. I started getting very stressed and very anxiety heavy very early on. And that panic then turned... Are we good?
Speaking to the group, your microphone is muted. You guys, I apologize. Every time we do the show from Wi-Fi, it's just a little weird. YouTube just loves changing all the stats like on the fly. we will just continue to tell the story. It will kind of update us every time it drops out or anything. So we'll pick up where we left off. So anytime you hear an audio drop or anything like that, or it turns to robo, I hope we're not still robo mode. It basically digitizes our voice to terrible robo. People are saying it's okay now. Quality is not good, but it's fine.
What?
Quality is terrible, but it's good. I'm only worried about the audio, right? Because this is going to turn into a podcast eventually. So if the video starts looking grainy, don't worry about it. As long as you can hear us, just keep me posted in the chat room, and we will continue to tell the story. That's fine. Sorry.
All right. So picking up from where I left off, I got really panicky, really anxiety, and that kind of turned into stomach issues. I don't know if it was stomach issues, or I don't think it was an actual gastro thing. I think it was anxiety that was making it a gastro thing. So close. Say we're good. So great. So close to mile 10, I got the worst case of the dry heaves, and I felt like I needed to throw up, and it was bad because Ethan hates throw up. Nobody loves it.
But on my show, I've said it 1,000 times, I have a huge fear of throwing up. I'm totally okay if Kim has to. And in this case, I wasn't running away. I was dealing with it. I'm totally fine with this. Sorry, go ahead.
But it was literally every 10 steps I took, I was stopping, hunched over, hands on knees, full on heaving.
It was tough to watch. It was tough to... And I'm not talking from a selfish point of like, I hate people with the throw up.
Gross.
It was tough to watch. It was tough to watch the person that I love with all my heart suffer so greatly and not be able to do anything about it. This is basically what happened all day for me, and I'm not the important party here. I was torn between have to help the person I love and have to document everything, because this is part of the experience, and I want to document it and I want to film it, but I want to help her. So I did a bit of both. There were some instances where I had the camera rolling and Kim stared at me like I was gonna die.
I was just gonna say, there's times I'd be like hunched over dry heaving, and I'd look up the trail at you, and you'd be holding the GoPro camera, and I was just like, "Oh my God, is this happening?"
It was part of the process. I knew I had to document. It broke my heart, though, to see you suffering so much. So in my mind, as an ultra runner, I'm looking at someone who I'm running with this entire day.
Yeah.
She has goals, and the goals aren't, it's to get to the aid stations at cutoffs. It's to finish the race. And anytime we took the first 6 easy, so we're already we're not missing the cutoffs or anything. We have some pretty good gaps, but every time Kim stops to dry heave, in my mind, I'm just counting the seconds. Because it wasn't like, hey, every mile she's dry heaving. It was every 10 steps.
It was literally every 10 steps.
It was dry heave, take 10 steps, stop, dry heave. And this went on for a very long time.
And at this point, I really didn't feel like taking calories in, which is bad at only mile 10 or 11 or wherever we were. It was frustrating for me because I've trained hard for this. I've done these distances a billion times. Like, this wasn't anything new, So in my mind, my heart was breaking all day already.
Yeah. It's hard to watch someone break down so early in a race. There's so much race left, and like the toughest part of the race is still ahead, the giant climb. She's not even there yet. She's up the first of 3 climbs. Yeah. And it's not the climb, it's nothing. In my mind, I'm going, it's mental. She's dealing with some mental shit right now because it's such a big undertaking and she's just at the beginning of it. So she's completely overwhelmed. You can't tell somebody that it's a mental blockage when they are in the middle of it. That doesn't help them get over it.
Yeah.
The problem is that there's really nothing I can do.
And I remember...
Except pull out a camera and document it. I'm so sorry.
I remember looking at you and being like, I know what's happening. I know this is anxiety. I get it, but it's still happening.
I'll be honest, there's actually not a lot that I filmed as far as the film would have turned into, it's like a documentary of us dealing with each other. I really wish a third person was there filming the 2 of us. because it did get to that point where I'm like, oh man, I want to whip out a camera and film us fight, because it's brilliant. Because I know we're gonna get over.
Probably would have just slapped it out of your hand.
Oh, you would have destroyed the camera. That would have been an amazing scene. That would have been a viral success. So try to explain. There's some great questions in the chat, but I don't want to pass them up.
Sure.
Let's see. Chris Ham asks, is this your first time with the anxiety stomach thing?
Had it before. I've had stomach issue before on another race. Actually, during Squamish, I had it. And I mean, I'm notorious for stomach issues on race day. This was probably, without a doubt, this was the worst.
Yeah. I mean, you described what happened at Squamish, the 23K, while I was running the 50K, and it didn't sound pleasant. But then I got to experience it firsthand, and it was like, oh man, if this is what it is, it's terrible, because it's debilitating for you. It's debilitating,
and it's frustrating. And the more you get frustrated about it, the harder it is to calm down. Like, I kept telling Ethan, like, my heart rate is racing, like I can't catch my breath, like there was nothing I could do to calm myself down.
So Lori's also asking, your stomach was upset at the San Francisco Marathon. Were you getting enough calories? You bring up an interesting point.
Yeah, I mean, San Francisco, we've talked about it, and we think it was more of like a bonk type situation.
I just realized I need to plug in my computer.
Oh.
That would be smart.
And dead. Yeah, San Francisco, I believe it was more of a bonk than anything. I wasn't really stressed during that race, and my calories were pretty much on point for the majority of the day until I started feeling sick.
You're talking about San Fran?
Yeah. During Oregon. So I guess this will kind of lead up to what happened at the aid station 14, mile 14.
Yeah. Okay. As someone who's run ultras before, and as someone who's watching someone run the first ultra, in my mind, I'm watching what she's doing, and I don't know Kim's normal routine because we train in different countries. But she's experienced enough running long distances that she knows that she has her calorie intake dial per hour, which in an ultra is just kind of the easiest way to go about it. You need to take in a certain number of calories per hour, and that's kind of what you were doing in the race.
Yeah. So
when we finally, basically Kim powers through, we managed to continue on slowly, but just ever so surely to aid station 2, mile 14. We knew that as soon as we rolled in here, the biggest climb was ahead. Basically, it's a 10-mile out and back. The first 5 all uphill, the last 5 all downhill. At the top is a tiny aid station, which was added last minute, where the truck basically drove up on a fire road and had water and like some Coke and very few calories, but it was more of a water drop than anything, so we could refill our water and do anything like that. So we knew as soon as we left 14, the mile 14, that aid station, we were on our own for a long time.
Yeah.
But we knew we had to get back there by a certain time for cutoffs. So rolling into to that aid station for the first time, we kind of knew what we had to do. You had to refill.
My plan at mile 14 was, one, my bladder in my pack should have been empty. So I had exactly what I needed in my bladder to get to mile 14, that I could do a full reset on my bladder with my calories. And then I also had a spare soft flask with me. When I pulled my bladder out to refill it at that point, I still probably had a third of my calories left, which was not good.
Not good. That signaled to me she was behind in calories. Every time she dry heaved, nothing was coming up. That might have been the reason, because she had already absorbed all of her calories, all of her liquid at that point. She had nothing to lose, right? She had nothing to throw up. So I kept telling her, you're not throwing anything up, which means it's a mental thing. If it was a physical ailment, or if it was like a calorie intake thing, you ate too much, you ate the wrong thing or whatever, something would be coming back up. Yeah. Your stomach would be rejecting whatever you put into it. But nothing was coming back up. So in my mind, I'm going, you don't have enough. If it's a nausea issue, and I told you to hold off. There was a point
before we got to the aid station.
Before we got to the aid station, I did tell you, well, listen, if you're nauseous and you're dry heaving, let's hold off on taking in anything except for water. Sip the water, keep it real minimal, just to kind of reset your system. When we get to 14, get to the aid station, we can stop and just reassess, take in calories, and rest it out. I mean, this is essentially what I ran into at Squamish.
Sure, yeah.
Nausea. I had to stop, and once I stopped for a long period of time, it reset. So I was hoping that was maybe the same issue here. but it wasn't, because it turned out you had just not been taking in the right amount of calories at all.
Yeah. I mean, I think I got to the point early on where I started to feel not great.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of was really skimping on what I was taking in.
Right.
I think because then at that point, your mind kind of triggers the fear of, well, if I keep pushing all this stuff in, I know I should be, but if I keep doing it, it's going to come back out. It's one of those things that you think you're going to do the right thing at the time, and maybe you just don't, or you feel like you can't.
Yeah. People are talking about gin-gins. I swear by them. I used them in Squamish. There's many shots you hear me talking, and the gin-gin is in my mouth. They're amazing for stomach issues for me. Kim was sucking on gin-gins
all day.
All day. You guys swear by them. I do too. Kim does as well. So the fact that that wasn't even working, it's like, okay, maybe it's something else.
Yeah.
Maybe it is just like a mental block.
Yeah.
Maybe it is somewhat, maybe not enough calories. A gin won't solve not enough calories unless you're eating them.
Eating
right? Unless you're
ton
eating
of them.
Which I think Adam Campbell did during Hard Rock 100. He just kept fucking eating gin.
I'm no Adam Campbell.
None of us are. That guy's a rock star. All right, so you left 14. This is kind of where shit begins to hit the fan, really.
The major breakdown happens.
Major breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not even at the major breakdown.
Yeah, so we left mile 14 knowing that I had 10 miles to get back to that aid station in the allowed amount of time. We started, was it a climb right off the bat? Kind of looped around where the mushroom pickers were.
It's not a loop, it's like a square. In the lower corner is the aid station. You run flat along the coast, sort of, until you get to the upper part. You run up the mountain. So that section along the coast is a lot of this, ups and downs and stuff, but mostly up.
Right. So at that point, Ethan, having my best intentions, in mind, and knowing that there's nothing I want to do except finish this race, he had kind of broke down the time and kind of given me an outline of what kind of pace we needed to be at to get to whatever mile to make sure we made that cutoff.
Mm-hmm. The cutoff was very important. This was the inaugural Oregon Coast 50K. So the cutoffs were set based off of some of the training runs put on by the Rainshadow Running crew. So they kind of have a guesstimate of like, you need to get to this aid station by this time so we can let the volunteers go and stuff like that. So we knew in our mind we had exactly this allocated amount of time to get to that aid station. It was very tight, as in,
I knew it was going to be tight.
In my mind, I'm looking at my watch going, totally doable. Even on a tough day, doable. So we have, what was it? It was like 2 hours and 45 minutes or 3 hours or something like that.
I think like 2:45 to do.
2:45 to do the 10-mile round trip.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm going, you split that in half, it's an hour 20, hour 25 or so. But because you do uphill for the first half and downhill for the second half, and Kim flies on the downhill. She kills it. I can barely keep up with her. That's her jam. Technical and non-technical doesn't matter. So I knew, okay, well, let's just say 1 hour and 40 minutes up, an hour 5, an hour 10.
Yeah.
Let's just power up, not best thing to do. And my goal, I'm not saying I'm not your coach at all, but as someone who is on this journey with you, and if you get a DNF, I get a DNF, I'm also thinking how badly you want this.
Yeah.
So during this process, I'm telling Kim, listen, you have a choice. And I'm being I'm putting it politely here, but on the trail, when you're in the middle of the woods, it's like you either turn around and you get your ass back to that aid station and you quit, or you keep going up this mountain.
I felt bad for the squirrels that could hear us talking to each other.
The thing is like I could hear runners on the other side of the mountain because there's this giant valley, and you could hear the other runners going down, like they're going back to the aid station because it's essentially two valleys or two ridges that go up and meet at the top. So I can hear them running down. I'm like, oh man, they could hear a couple on the other ridge yelling at each other like, well, I don't want to go up. You have a choice. You either fucking go back to that aid station and you quit, or you go up and you kill this thing.
Stop yelling at me. We've been fighting all day.
That was it. It was the moment Kim said, we've been fighting all day. I don't want this to be our memory from this day. I'm like, Kim, we've been fighting for 1/2 of a mile. The first 14 were awesome.
It felt like all day.
From 14 to 14 and a half, it was just terrible. But apparently that half mile would taint the entire day. It's not great. So often I'm like, just keep up with me. I'm going to do the pace that you need to do to make this happen. Just keep up with me. So I would hike up. I would run some sections and hike up, and I would turn around, and she would be 300 yards behind me.
So just to kind of put you in my shoes of where I was feeling at this point, one, I was like not in a great mental space at this time. I was still dealing with whatever I was dealing with before. I was still dry heaving every, 20 feet. Now Ethan and I are fighting with each other, so I was upset about that. I felt very isolated at this point. So that was also feeding into whatever anxiety I was having. And my cramping started. I started getting full leg cramping from my hip flexors all the way down to like the sides of my ankles on the major climb of the race.
Yeah.
So Ethan's there and he's like telling me, he's like, you just got to push, you got to keep up with me. We got to keep this pace. On any other day, I would have been like, I totally get what you're saying to me. I'm right there with you. I'm on your heels. That day, I was just climbing so slow and slowing down with every step. That's how I felt anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard to watch the person I love just break down emotionally and physically and see that it wasn't her day. Leading up to this race in my mind, she was terrified leading up to this race for months about making cutoffs and even being able to do the distance. I knew 100% she could do it. And in fact, I'm like, she's gonna go like 6 hours, 6.5 hours or something like that. Like she's gonna just blow it out of the water. Even on like a regular day for her, she would have been able to blow it out of the water. Like that, there was never a doubt in my mind. This is the first time in the middle of a mountain, halfway up the biggest climb of the day, and I'm looking at her, I'm looking at my watch, and I'm just thinking, and I'm like, this just isn't going to happen. The time isn't going to happen. It's just not going to work out. We fought. We got on each other's nerves for a half mile. I would say maybe a mile. No. I would say maybe the mile. So that mile was tough because I would have to run ahead. It was a long mile. We needed to get away from each other a little bit. It was a long mile. It was more duration than it was distance. But there was a time when I stopped and I waited for you. You came up and you're like, I don't want to fight anymore. I was like, I don't want to fight anymore. And we held hands for like the next mile. It was actually like really easy. Yeah. Like a light switch. It just turned into, whatever happens at this point. Mm-hmm. Let's just go up. Look at the beautiful view. And that's kind of when Kim's mood began to change. She started to look at the views and go, this is really cool. Like, look at those trees. This is really cool. And before we knew it, we had crested what we thought was at the top, and it kind of began to snake down and straight, which turned out to be the out and back to the water drop, which we knew was the halfway point. Right. And so we run down to the water drop. We were pretty much the last people to check in. We saw the girl that had given me ginger chews earlier on in the day. Yeah, a little out and back, and the woman who gave you ginger chews before earlier in the day, she was also having terrible stomach issues. She was running back. And in my mind, I'm going, oh, okay, well, there's other people out here. There's other people out here. So maybe we're not doing so bad. And my mileage on my watch was a little off to begin with. Like it started to get off by like a mile or 3/4 of a mile. So I thought maybe the aid station was before the time in my mind that I was thinking it was going to be at. Kim, let's get you a Coke. Chug the shit out of that Coke because I know what it can do. Let's just chug down this hill because now it's downhill. Yeah, so I ended up getting a can of Coke from the guys that were at the water station. They luckily had like a few cans in their van. And I actually left that aid station with a can of Coke, and I drank that as we went. At this point, I mean, I was feeling definitely mentally much better, but physically my legs were starting to break down pretty poorly because I think I'd been going so slow and stopping so much throughout the day that there was just nothing but cramping happening. Yeah. So this is where it gets good. Before we even continue though, Team UNICEF, we are at what is the total? Are you getting close? We're getting pretty close. $3,075, which means we have $425 left. To reach the goal of $3,500. We are almost there. As I mentioned at the top of the show, For those of you who are watching, there's a link in the description of this live stream to donate to Team UNICEF. I'm running the New York Marathon in 2 weekends.
Days?
Yeah, 12
days?
13 days or something like that. Kim will be coming with me to New York. We're very, very excited. I'm running with Shay Carl and friends. I'm going to make a big film out of it, really document the experience. Really, really excited. Tonight, if we reach during this show, which will only last a little bit longer, if we raise another $425, I will chug the shit out of this. I will finish this and drink this, and we will do a post-show. I'm going to be probably pretty drunk. So it'll be kind of like an AMA and Ask Me Anything sort of scenario. But I'm very excited. And I will release my hyperlapse film probably in the end of this week. So if you can help me guys reach that donation peak of $3,500, I will release it at the end of the week.
You're seriously almost there.
We're almost there. $425. Every little bit counts. $10, $11, $20,
$5.
I don't think they allow $5.
Oh, okay, just kidding. $10.
$50. We're almost there. So that would be awesome, guys. This is for UNICEF. It's for the kids. It's really, really cool. Great. Sorry. Okay. So we start the downhill. Downhill to mile 24 aid station, which is 14 twice, right? So
yeah.
So we're 5 miles up, 5 miles back down to the same aid station.
So we're running along that kind of downhill. It's beautiful. It's beautiful there. The sun's kind of coming out, through the trees. But my legs are like running on 2 bags of garbage.
You weren't having any fun.
I was having more fun than I was having earlier in the day, but my legs were just knotting up all over the place. Yeah. So.
But what I have to note is that Kim's mood changed 180. I mean, it went from I am in so much pain, I'm having a terrible day, and like the dry heaving stopped. And I pointed that out to her. I was like, Kim, you haven't dry heaved in miles. She goes, I know. I'm like, do you still feel nauseous? Well, yeah, kinda.
My stomach just more hurt.
More hurt. And I was like, well, it hurts because you were dry heaving like 30, 40, 50 times. Your stomach is gonna hurt. As she started running downhill, it was real slow going at first. I'm looking at my watch, looking at the time. I'm like, well, this can still happen. We could still make this happen. We just have to, okay, Kim, focus, keep running. I'm running as fast as I can. I know you got to run faster. I'm running as fast as I can. Until we get to this section that is just, it's just gorgeous. Huge black trees, like 4 or 5 foot wide black trees with bright green moss.
Bright green moss.
So cool. I mean, you felt like you were on another planet. And for some reason, some sort of light switch went off in Kim, and she just started booking it. I don't know what happened inside your body or what happened inside your legs. It was by far the fastest few miles of the day. There was a section I filmed that was behind her running with her, barely able to keep up. And I'm like, I'm not turning the camera off. I'm documenting this entire, I don't care how long it is. I think it was like 3 or 4 minutes.
I think I was probably like yelling at you though. This hurts!
Oh,
this
yeah.
hurts!
Oh, this fucking hurts. Oh, my legs. I can't feel my legs. Until there was like a really sharp turn where we had to like slow down and stop and go the other way. But I filmed the whole section. You were flying. You killed it.
I wanted to get there.
You absolutely wanted to get there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until we started getting towards the bottom that we were looking at our watch and we were thinking, I don't know if this is going to happen. We knew that the aid station, there was probably a little bit of leniency on the arrival time, but they had some pretty hard outs. So when we rolled in finally to the aid station, I'm just filming Kim. Like, I just want to document this moment. At that point, the aid station had kind of torn down a little bit. They were putting some stuff in the car, but the aid station captain and the woman that was writing on the
clipboard,
I don't remember her name or what the role was or what that is called. They didn't do anything. So I'm filming Kim, and they go, what do they say?
Well, I think I first looked at the lady with the clipboard because we were cutting it very close.
Kind of pretty close, yeah.
I looked at the lady with the clipboard when we first walked up, and I looked at her, and I just started crying. Because I didn't know how close we were, and I didn't really know what was going to happen.
I think the race started like a minute or two off the clock, off of the hour. And because it was the inaugural race, they were going to be a little bit lenient in the aid stations, but not by much. In my mind, I'm like, we're pulling our bibs. This is going to be the moment we pull our bibs. They gave you the option to continue.
Yeah. the aid station chief? Captain. She kind of looked at us and said, how are you guys feeling? Like, are you guys, having any problems? Are you in pain? What's going on?
Oh, we had met up with your friend Elena at this point as well.
Yeah. Elena was with us as well.
Yeah, there's three of us.
And so she just kind of asked us, how are you guys feeling? What do you need? What's going on? And then the big question came, well, do you guys think you'll be able to finish within cutoff, the race? And I kind of kept going like this to Ethan, because as much as I was in a better mental space, I knew I wanted to finish, but I didn't know physically if I could. So I kept kind of looking at Ethan, hoping he'd be like, yes, let's go, we're going, or no, we're done. And I kind of went, yeah, okay, yeah, we can do this.
Elena, our other friend, she had already, she was like, I'm just done.
She wanted to ride to the finish line.
She was
ready.
In an ultra, when you see someone go, I'm done, like, nah, I don't want to continue. She was given the option as well, because she rolled in with us. So it was like, do you feel good? Do you want to continue? She's like, nah, I'm good. I want to ride to the finish. And I'm like, okay, she's checked out.
I think I asked her about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, do you want to come with us? You sure?
I train with Alana on a regular basis.
And they looked at Cameron like, do you feel good? Do you want to continue? And Kim goes, So in my mind, I'm going, anytime you say, no, I don't want to continue, you're done. You've mentally checked out of the race. You're physically done. You have come to grips with the fact that you are done. Anytime you go, there's still life left in you.
I wanted that finish. I just didn't know how long it would take me.
Didn't matter at that point.
Right.
You even said that. You're like, I don't care. If it takes me 9-10 hours or whatever at that point, like, even if the second you get out of the aid station, even at that section, which was 7 miles at this point, 7 miles left, which isn't that much, you said, even if that takes me 3 or 4 hours, you're good with that. You were 100% good with that. In my mind, I'm like, we can't take that long. I feel bad for people who would be waiting at the finish line, but we're not going to take that long. But we still had like an hour and a half to get to the finish line. In my mind, I'm going, we can do 7 miles. It's like one little uphill, a nice steep downhill, and flat to the finish line for 7 miles. We can do it.
So essentially, I refilled my bladder really quick, and I grabbed 2 cups of Coke, and I started going up the trail. Pardon me.
It's the beer, just telling you.
Knowing that I'd be a little bit slower than Ethan. I think Ethan grabbed some calories and started trucking up behind me.
Good. Sorry, this is finished. This is delicious, but I'm not going to open this until we meet that goal.
So we start heading up the climb, and
I'm just going to leave it there for people to watch and look at and tempt. Let's reach that goal, guys. We're almost there. $425. No, I think it's $405 left. Go!
Should I continue?
Oh, so no, I chased you. You left. I made sure to grab some extra calories. I'm like, okay, she's good. She's like, her mental state is fantastic. She's ready to punch it. So I thanked the volunteers. I was like, I'm just going to grab some calories and we're just going to go.
It was maybe like 5 minutes up the trail. And I kind of looked at you and I was like, I think I can probably walk these 7 miles.
I'm like, we're not walking. There's no way.
My legs were so fried at this point, but I knew I wanted to finish. So we hiked up to the top of that climb.
1.5 miles up, which is the same little hill that we did at the very beginning of the race.
The
backside. A mile 10 or something like that, the backside. So we ran up. We walked, power hiked up to the top. Beautiful viewpoint.
It was beautiful. At this point,
like, I got to give you credit. You just turned your frown upside down and turned it into, let's just enjoy this sort of experience. I know you were suffering, but it was all about, look at these views. Look at this forest. Look at these trails. Like, it became less about the pain and the suffering and more about just trying to enjoy the rest of your day. Didn't matter how long it took to get to the finish line. You were going to do it.
I think once we left that aid station, I was kind of like, well, we're here now, and there's no way I'm going to go home with a DNF.
No way. Not going to happen.
Didn't feel like an option to me.
$365 left. Pretty close. We get to the top of the climb. There's trail that was mud.
We didn't even talk about that.
We didn't talk about the mud earlier in the day. It was just the trail had turned to mush.
It was like suck your shoe off your foot type of mud.
Like nasty mud. Some similar stuff that I encountered at the North Face 50K, my first one in 2012, just nasty mud. When we got back there, it had congealed a bit to turn into a little bit more sticky. Still suck your shoe off.
Yeah.
But sticky. We don't know the last person that ran through there. We don't know the last time it rained through there. We were pretty sure we were also the last person on the trail. But we were like, let's just enjoy it. And it was pretty awesome to be able to run with you well past the point you would ever, like distance-wise, that you would ever run before.
Yeah, I think once I got past 26.2,
you danced.
Had a big celebration on the trail.
I got on film. But you'd like dance and you celebrated. And it was so cool to kind of be a part of that experience with you, where it was like your smiles were back and you were having fun. And you're like, listen, we can't go that fast. Like, that's fine, whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah.
We made it through that last aid station. That was it. That was the biggest stress you had leading up to this race.
Yeah.
The only thing left is the finish line.
Yep.
Yeah. And you pushed through. And again, ran the downhills, just killed it. And even in the section of the road, she's like, I don't want to run, I want to walk. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We'll walk the road. She goes, well, let's just run to the van. Or let's run to the house. Like,
run to the end of that bridge. Run to the end of that fence.
You're bartering with me to run? Yeah, let's go. So she did it. She ran the sections.
And yeah, we started getting close to the finish line, or what we thought was close to the finish line. I was like, Ethan, do you hear that? I think you hear the finish line. And you're like, well, I think we're maybe like a quarter mile away still. And because I don't think you heard what I heard at first.
Not at first.
And I'm like, see, do you hear that? Do you hear that? And like, you could clear as day hear the finish line. I was like, we're almost there. So we kind of ran, I'm trying to think of where we were at that point.
Just along like the neighborhoods, the houses, and then there's a little trail that takes you right to the finish line. Yeah,
there's a trail that cuts down along a fence line of the resort, and you can kind of see towards the finish line. And we started running down that, and I could just hear my friends that were over at the finish line just like yelling my name, and I just was like crying.
So I'm running behind her, filming the last mile maybe. It was pretty awesome.
It was.
And you beat me
by 2 seconds.
By 2 seconds.
But it was pretty amazing to be somewhere like Oregon, but have so many of my Vancouver trail running friends be there at the finish line, including Alana, who had hitched a ride back earlier, and some of my other trail running friends were just there. They ran me in. Ethan was there. I mean, running through that finish line and getting a high five has never been, something that I ever wanted, that bad.
We ended up finishing after 8 hours, which was the spoken time cutoff.
Yeah.
What was really cool is that since this was the inaugural race, Rainshadow only let I believe like 11 or so people finished after the 8 hour cutoff. I think we were at 8:18 or 8:20 or something like that.
Yeah.
Really close. The finish line was still open at that point, and they allowed the last people who made it through the last aid station to get official times for the most part.
Which was amazing.
Yeah, I think there was another guy that came in after us, or another woman that came in after us, and same with the 30K.
Yeah.
A couple finishers of the 30K that came in after us. And it was like, that's awesome, because this was the first race, the first time that they run on this course. It's like, you don't really know how people are going to finish from mid to backpackers or anything. Backpackers. So we got official times, which is pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
There was no DNFing. There was no DNSing. That would be did not start.
It was the most
official time for the first 50K.
And it was the most incredible.
Oh!
Congratulations, you finished!
Yay! Oh my goodness!
Oh my god! Oh, are these warm?
Well, I topped them.
For the Ginger Runner Pumpkin.
Yes.
Hold on, let's show these. So this is Destiny's son, everybody. This is our great friend Destiny's son. There's the camera right there. Destiny is an incredible friend of ours. She also just ran her very first marathon last weekend, the Portland Marathon. Can you describe that experience? I mean, was it amazing for you? Was it like really tough? Like what was going on?
I can say that there was no fighting. No fighting except for myself and my legs. My husband's out there laughing. Oh, and it was an incredible experience. It does not compare to running a 50K.
We always respect the marathon distance. fucking
It was my
tough.
first one. It was hard because it was 87 degrees. I was not prepared for that. And I would say that if you can have a mentor or a best friend run you in, that's one of my friends did it, and I was numb from the waist down. So he ran me the last 3 miles, and that was incredible.
That's awesome.
Incredible. But anyway, I just want to say congratulations, you guys. You're in my office. So
this is great. Oh my God. So this Destiny is co-owner of the Confectional, which is this cheesecake factory that we literally are in. We're in the office right now. These are the handmade confections. They're cheesecakes, little personal versions. This is the pumpkin.
This
is my favorite.
Bloody Oreo.
Listen, we always have a good time. So I made the bloody Oreo for you, Kim. Congratulations.
Oh my God.
Yum.
It sounds like a very bloody experience out there on the trail. And I don't know, pumpkin's just pretty traditional.
Pumpkin's my favorite. Every year, it's always my favorite one that you guys make. So I'm glad that it finally is.
I can't get in.
You can go to theconfectional.com. You can get these and have them delivered to you, which is pretty incredible.
I really did make a mistake. Congratulations, but thank you. Thank you. So,
oh my God.
There it is.
Oh my God. Thank you, Destiny. Destiny Stunned. You can find her on Twitter as well, @DestinyTop. Or The Confectional. Is it @The Confectional or @Confectional?
I think it's @Confectional.
@Confectional. And I'll be sure to include the links in the description.
All things cheesecake. Have fun, you guys.
Thanks.
She's incredible. She's such an inspiration, and finished her first marathon last week. It was really incredible to follow that journey. She's been a great friend of ours for years, and in the last 2 years has just changed her life completely.
Uh-oh.
And that's not real blood. That's fake
I
blood.
have red blood on my face.
From the bloody Oreo. Has completely changed her life and been working out almost every single day, running. She started running and doing half marathons and 5Ks, and then she did her first marathon. It's stories like that are incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. She never thought that she would do a marathon. When I first started running, they were obviously still my friends at that point. They're like, "You're crazy." They were at my first Seattle Marathon experience. You were there too.
Yep.
You guys, I'm right here. I can hear you.
She can hear me. But to see her come and grow like that, and her husband Justin, my best friend Justin, is really, really inspiring. Speaking of inspirations, you baby.
What?
You finished your first 50K. What do you mean?
Yay!
What? Yay!
Anyway, just to kind of finish the day, I mean, it was an amazing day. As much as I may have sounded complainy and miserable and sick for a lot of the day.
I think you're allowed. You're allowed to feel that way.
I've never had a day that felt so bad at some points, but been so exactly what it needed to be for me. And I honestly I can't wait to do another one.
That was a question in the chat room.
I'm already registered for my next one. So
you are,
yeah, I'll be doing Orcas Island 50K in February.
Cannot wait.
Both of us will be there.
I will be there.
Mm-hmm.
That's another Rainshadow Running race.
Yeah.
That is, I want to talk more about this in the post show because I think that's post show material. There's so many questions in the chat room. I know that we just kind of started talking and gabbing and stuff about the experience. I have to say that was probably one of the hardest but most rewarding experiences that I've ever had as a runner. Running with you, it was tough for multiple reasons, but it was so much more rewarding, and it was so worth it. And we haven't even looked at the footage. We haven't even touched the footage.
There's gonna be a lot of crying. I cried a lot.
So did I. I mean, it's. I get emotional when I run. You can see it in my fucking movies. And people are like, "Oh, you're just a pussy." I'm like, whatever. I don't care. I get emotional. I have no shame. But running with you and experiencing your first 50K with you was incredible, an incredible experience. And I'll cherish it forever.
I wouldn't have had it any other way. As much as we did, had our ups and downs. It's to have somebody be so selfless and just put themselves out there for the entire day and go your pace for the entire day and deal with you for the entire day. It's really special. So thank you.
Don't thank me.
Thank you.
It was a joy. If you guys want to put your relationship to the test, doesn't matter if you're just dating, perhaps you're married, you've been married for 40 years or 50 years, do an ultra together. It will take you to some places that you didn't think existed with each other. But it'll help you work through those places.
Yeah.
And I 100% have come out on the other side going, this is the woman. This is the woman that I cannot wait to spend the rest of my life with. Because as terrible of times that we had for that 1/2 mile,
all day,
it was worth it, because the smile on your face and the happiness that you had at the end of the day, and it's incredible. It's incredible. I love you very much.
I love you too.
We're gonna kiss right into the
You taste like
microphone.
pumpkin.
I know. You taste like blood. So you guys, we're so close on this UNICEF thing. The story's going to continue. We're going to go into the post show here. It's going to be a brief post show because we do have our best friends out in the lobby. We'll bring them in for the post show too, because I want you guys to meet them. They were in the Squamish 50/50 film. Destiny and Justin, they are here. This is their office. It's Destiny's office. Justin has another office somewhere else. It's probably much bigger. It has couches and
fancy things.
Fancy things. We're going to bring them in for the post show, but ask your questions if you guys have questions for Kim, for myself. There were gear questions. We're going to talk about gear.
There's questions about the shirt as well.
Probably this shirt.
Probably more comments.
We're going to eat cheesecakes. And this is still sitting here waiting to be chugged. Let me refresh this, see where we're at with Team UNICEF donations. If we do it in the post show, I'll count it. I will count it in the... Okay, so we're at 3,215, which means we are 300... Is that correct? $285. $285.
That's so close.
That is so close, guys. Oh, sorry. Oh, God. I'm apologizing to myself. $285 left to reach my goal. If we reach the goal, I will chug this and I will release the hyperlapse film at the end of this week, the 10-mile hyperlapse film, which I'm super stoked about. You guys are incredible. You want to eat that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you hold that. Remember, if you get it on your lips, those would be incredible. Stick around for the post show. We will answer all of your questions. You guys are incredible for sticking around and watching. We have a number of live viewers tonight, which is really, really great. Cannot thank you guys enough. Kim, where can people find you? I want you all to follow Kim on social media. Facebook.com/milelonglegs, Twitter milelong_legs, Instagram Kimberly DT. That's KIMBERLEYDT, and my website, of course, milelonglegs.com. And don't forget, we are in the beautiful space of the Confectional, which is a bakery. They make these amazing cheesecakes. We are literally going to be eating them during the post show. They're delicious. Probably some of the best cheesecakes you will ever find. Yep. In the United States of America, I guarantee you.
Maybe even Canada.
Maybe even Canada. I'll go as far as to say that. So go to theconfectional.com, and in the notes of the order, if you do end up ordering some cheesecakes, let them know that the Ginger Runner sent you. Maybe they'll throw in a couple extra for you. Incredible. They're absolutely delicious. You know where to find me on all the social networks as well. On Twitter, it's at The Ginger Runner. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/TheGingerRunner. GingerRunner.com, the new website, which I will update with the new Rob Krar podcast, as well as this podcast from tonight once I get back to Los Angeles. And Instagram is at Ethan Newberry. So don't forget to follow there. You can see pictures from this weekend as well. And youtube.com/TheGingerRunner, which is where you already are. I'm already slurring my words.
You already are. You already are.
I'm going to give 20-pounder double IPA some major credit for already making the Ginger Runner slur his words. I'm also a lightweight right now because I haven't drank for weeks leading up to the race. I drank a lot of beer right after the race, so I'm not even adapted yet. I think that's it. I think that is it.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining and listening to me whine.
You didn't whine. You relived your experience. I know that it's tough for a first-timer because you do end up blacking out a lot of it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to read your race recap, and I can't wait to look at the footage. Because there's probably going to be a lot of dry heaving in it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm probably going to have to do like a really quick edit of the dry heaving.
I should have been wearing like a hidden camera the whole time.
Why?
To capture.
To capture me?
Yeah.
Can't capture me yelling? See, that's the benefit of being the filmmaker, is that you can turn the camera off when you have to yell. I'm such an asshole. Put everything up. Put everything to the test. Oh my God, we made it though. We made it.
Yep.
So the donation will continue into the post show. If you manage to make it, I will chug this, and the goal will have been met. Thank you so much for watching tonight, guys. This is episode number 37. Stick around for the post show. We will answer your questions, talk specifics about the race gear, everything like that. That is it for now. Hit the end credits. Any last words, babe?
That's it. I'm gonna eat this cheesecake.
We'll see you in the post show.
Bye.
All right, post show. We are now in post show. That looks amazing. Is that the devil food? Devil food.
No.
Justin and Destiny, get in here.
Red velvet Oreo.
Red velvet.
Ooh.
You love red velvet. I have this one sitting here. I can't reach the UNICEF donation amount.
I opened a beer and then Justin gave me another beer.
Come on in. We're gonna try to widen the camera out a little bit. I might have to turn it. We'll keep the laptop that way, but we'll turn the camera this way.
Give me a second to drain the balls.
Yeah, drain your balls.
I need to get rid of
fork?
this. No, I need
You
to
don't
put
want
it down. I do want it, but not right now.
Oh yeah,
this is happening.
I know you're like, no, let me clear it out of your way.
No. If you have a plate or anything like that, it's a drippy.
I don't need a plate.
It's
It's fine. It's on a clean. It's fine.
I know.
Can we go to the chat?
Yeah, let's go to the chat room. You guys who are watching live, this is the post show. This is where things get a little chaotic, especially tonight, because we have 2 additional guests that we're going to add in here in the post show. Here you go, baby.
Thanks.
You are the only ones that get to see this. This does not translate to the podcast version, which is incredible. Let me just refresh the UNICEF donations, because if we do reach the goal, this will get cheerogged. We're gonna be really close. I know it. It's refreshing. How did this not happen?
How did this not happen?
I mean, how did this not happen here in the live show? I can't believe it. And yeah, here's the chat room. Whoa, I can't believe it! We did it! Oh my god! Yes! Unbelievable! Holy crap! People are saying chug. Oh shit! What did I do to myself? First of all, thank you. Thank
right.
you, everyone. Thank you. The power of the internet is incredible to me, and you guys are incredible. You donated to Team UNICEF. Your money is going to an incredible cause. I really cannot thank you enough. Those who have donated, I'm going to be sending you a link to the 10-mile hyperlapse film before anyone else gets to see it. And you guys will get to watch that and enjoy it. And hopefully, if you guys have any input or anything like that, let me know, because I can always re-upload it too. If you're like, oh, the music is great, but add this song. This is my favorite song, like the Mirror Mirror off the Ginger Runner soundtrack or whatever. Wow. I'm blown away. I can't thank you guys enough. Chris Fargo says it was my $50. Fargo.
It was our $40.
Oh!
I can actually see who was the last person to donate.
But maybe you shouldn't name
But maybe
names.
I shouldn't.
No.
I don't want names. But
every donation is just as special as the other one.
Yes. And I will be making a video for the donations, for the donors. I will email you the link to that as well. It will be one.
I think Fargo's talking to me.
Maybe.
He says, you owe me a massage at the North Face
Come
in December.
on. Chris Fargo, come on, get in here, guys. So I will be making a video specifically for all of you who donated to thank you all by name. I'm blown away. I'm absolutely blown away.
Yeah.
So to remind those of you who did purchase, so come on around here, guys. We have
Gonna scooch over
space
towards
here,
me.
and you guys should be in camera there. Yeah, you're right. Perfect. So the buffs have been manufactured. Those of you who did order buffs, I will be shipping those out hopefully next week. This is Destiny's son, co-owner of the Confectional. Camera's over here, Jay. And this is Justin's son. You might recognize.
Mechanize them.
Hold on, I do owe them.
Oh,
Cheers, everybody.
cheers, guys.
Congrats to you guys.
So great.
They both ran the Portland Marathon last weekend. Do you guys want to talk about your experiences? We kind of touched on it a little bit, Destiny. It was your first marathon. While we kind of go through and look
no,
for questions.
Vargo means Ethan.
Oh,
That's
no,
disappointing.
Oh, great. I'll give him a massage. No problem. If you guys kind of want to rehash your build up to the Portland Marathon and talk a little bit about that while we kind of sort through questions here in the chat room. Because I know that this was a big event for both of you. Justin, you had run 3 marathons before this?
Yeah, this is my 4th.
It was your 4th. You had done all the training leading up to it, but you also worked a ton, so you were also like having to skip a little bit on training in some aspects. Destiny went in with like crazy training, first marathon, totally going for it, like gung-ho, doing the big distance. What was the experience like for both of you individually? Because it was pretty vastly different.
I mean, to really tell the story, you have to kind of step back a little bit. you were talking a little bit earlier about, you know, we're both running. We both kind of got into it not that long ago. Both of you are big inspirations for us. I mean, there was a day, mentors, inspirations, everything. I mean, there's a day, Ethan, I'd been running like this much, and you came to, you were staying with us because you do that every like 2 weeks at the Hotel Sun, and you're like, I'm gonna go for a run, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go for a run with you too. And I had shoes that didn't fit right. They weren't great. I actually probably really hurt myself, but I went out and I just like went for a run with you. And
I remember that. I remember all the views and stuff. You took me on around your house. Yeah.
And I ran for 1.5 miles nonstop, the longest I'd ever run nonstop. And I was like, hey, buddy, why don't you keep going? And I'm gonna take a little break, and everything's gonna be good. And you did. You went and ran some more, and then I started like heaving my way back home. And it was terrible. It was like the worst day of my life. And
that's so funny because I remember that day, and I remember running with you, going, Justin runs way faster than me.
Oh, dude, we did like the crazy hill areas.
It was nuts. I was like, man, Justin's fast.
It was all a sham. But I caught the bug that day. Like I really did. I pushed it hard.
Yeah.
I extended what I thought I was capable of, and you know, I started running quite a bit. Did my first marathon with you and Kim, of course.
Big Sur, which is not the easiest first marathon.
It's not the best first marathon.
The hardest one you could pick for your first.
You did a good job.
Pro tip.
You totally did a great job.
Yeah.
On that course, incredible.
Yeah.
Like that's a tough course.
The bus ride was the worst thing.
Oh, because on the Big Sur Marathon course, they drive you the entire course to get to the start line in the dark. So you know how long it is. Even driving at 45 miles per hour, it still takes like a half hour. And you're like, what is this?
Bonus points if your driver plays really loud country music and won't turn it down. And you're in the seat with the wheel well. If you remember an old school bus, like a kid's for like 5-year-olds.
A yellow children's school bus.
There were those seats in the way back with the wheel well, so you couldn't put your legs out. So I'm literally cramped in the seat in the cold. Anyway, I caught the bug, started running a lot. And passed it on to this lady.
Well, I can't let him outdo me for anything. So, and I just remember supporting you during the rock and roll.
In the Seattle Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
That was I remember, for those of you who might not be familiar, the Seattle Rock and Roll was my return to marathoning after my first one in 2002. I trained so hard for it. I think I wrote a blog about it. It's on gingerrunner.com, but the experience was terrible. But I remember coming back up to Seattle because I was living in Los Angeles at the time, and Justin and Destiny, Kim, and my good friend Tyler Barkley were all there, and they were like, dude, we'll support you, whatever you need. We'll be there on the course. And they were there at like 5 different spots along the course. I would not have finished if it was not for you guys, because it was the worst day, bonking at mile 13, just terrible. But every time I saw you guys, it was like, I can't quit. I have my friends here. Yeah. And I remember that. You hadn't started running at that point.
Nope.
I don't believe you had started running at that point.
No, in fact, I remember you were recounting the experience after, and you were talking to Kim, and you were saying, I just remember I first saw you guys at mile 8, and I was feeling really great, feeling really strong, and I remember thinking, running for 8 miles, and he felt good. I thought, oh, okay, this is like most of your audience is probably ultra runners, but this is entirely a non-runner sort of thing.
You have all distance runners now watching you.
Because I remember
at all.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. And we saw you
raise
like,
times.
Here we go. And then I remember being at the finish line. I was like, oh, we're seeing Ethan. And then the announcer said, don't worry, family members, we're going to bring your athlete home. And I remember thinking, I'm a family member. I'm not an athlete. I want to be an athlete. And then I thought, wait a minute, Ethan's an athlete? I remember that very vividly. And I think it was, but that didn't do it for me. It was when you started running, and we're married, and I don't want to, you got to do things together. And Yeah, you gotta. Well, don't run apparently a 50K together.
No, do.
Okay, do. Okay.
Yeah.
But I remember
This is really hard to chug.
Abominable
Tell me
winter
about
ale? Yes.
It's a winter ale.
It took me 3.
It's a terrible choice.
It took me over a year before I could run further than 3 miles.
5K.
A 5K.
Yeah.
And I tried so hard, and sometimes Justin
You mean
would,
nonstop?
Right.
You could do the distance. Just
I never gave
not
up.
without
I
stopping.
never gave up. And I was 70 pounds heavier at the time. And I remember you passed me in the car during a hot summer day when I was trying to break that 3-mile mark. And you said, yeah, I saw you after I got home. And I said, I'm so sorry you had to see me like that. And I just almost started bawling because it was nothing but sheer determination that I knew you saw me. Like, I don't even think I was running. I think in my mind I thought I was.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway. So we did our first BMO half together.
The Vancouver BMO marathon,
Yeah.
or half marathon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So she'd been doing half marathons, fun run type things. There's a race we do every year, the St. Patty's Day Dash, which they don't tell you how long it is. So everyone assumes it's a 5K, but it's actually 3.8 miles,
Longer.
which
A little bit longer. Nice.
Mhm.
It's a bit more.
yeah, it's a huge hill in the middle. So she's been on this journey, and she had no idea that she was heading towards a marathon. Like, she's been doing half marathons pretty regularly, but this lady, this beautiful lady, just been killing it the last year, and she's been going to the gym 3-4 times a week, working out. She lost 70 pounds, as she mentioned, and running way more than I had ever run.
Mhm.
Even training for a marathon, she'd pop off a 7-miler at lunch and be like, oh yeah, I wish I should have gone for 9.
Oh, I love it.
And meanwhile, like, I'd never trained for marathon running more than like 3 5s and a 10 or a 15 or whatever, your long run.
Yeah.
That was the most. She was running consistently 23, 24 miles a week. And this is before she's training for a marathon. And at some point I just said, why are you doing these half marathons? Not that they're not great. I love half marathons.
I just love to run.
I'm way overweight at this point. They're
Yeah.
a pretty choice for me.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta do it.
And I never got, I
have to
always
do
got
marathon.
encouragement from you guys.
Yeah.
And here's my marathon training schedule. I meticulously,
Yeah, you can see it on the
followed it. I marked everything off. But I mean, to this day, I remember running overweight, and I remember the looks that I would get from some and this is my interpretation. I totally understand, because these people are strangers and I don't know them, but from some very fit people, you know.
That's done, by the way, everybody.
Oh,
Drop the mic.
this is not happens.
One
They-
drop of money.
I get these looks, or at least I perceived these looks from very fit people passing me that had clearly been running all their lives, or just like, girl, what do you do? Man, you're just what are you doing? That's not running. You're too unfit to run. And I did. So to this day, like, when I pass and I think running has been in the news a lot lately, because there's a lot of people out giving it their very best. And I always smile. I always smile and wave, no matter what kind of, what I perceive. It doesn't matter. We're out there exercising together, and they're just giving it everything they've got. We all are.
Yeah.
And anytime I've asked you for advice or help, it's been amazing. So,
Portland.
yeah.
Well, I want to
get
talk
back
about
to
Portland,
it.
in a second. I mean,
I was just going to say, in the chat room, because you guys are talking about a husband-wife kind of combo and support.
husband and
Yeah.
wife, by the way.
We've been
Husband and wife.
We've
Yeah.
been talking about kind of supporting each other in the struggles we had. There's been a couple questions in the chat room from
I'm trying to hold the
Dan.
mic up in the middle of us.
Oh,
I hope
from
that's
Dan and
okay,
from
everybody.
Baker. They're both talking about their girlfriend or wives beginning running or pursuing bigger races. They're kind of asking, how can we support our wives or our girlfriends without being pushy, or, what's the best way to do it? I think for me, and we had the talk before my race, you kind of said, well, what do you need from me? What can I give you during the race? And I think the number one thing I said to you was, you're not my coach, so I don't want you to be a coach while we're running.
Right.
I want you to first and foremost be my fiance. That's what you're there for. For me personally, it could be different for everybody else. For me, I wanted him to be my fiance, who's also an amazing runner, who's also a knowledgeable runner. So that for me was that. I didn't want you coaching me. I have a coach,
Yeah.
like I have that.
We actually got to the point where, in my mind, I'm like, I want to provide advice. I want to try to help Kim reach her goal of this first 50K. I want to give you advice, but it's not my place. I mean, I'm not your coach. You have an incredible coach.
Totally true.
You have friends that do incredible things that do advise you. So I personally had to take the role of fiance when we're on the course and running that race, and I knew what you needed to do to finish. I would provide you with advice, but it's also like you're going to do what you can do at that point.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do to help you get out of whatever situation you're in. I'm there to support you. And I mean, it's a hard role. It's a hard one to play.
It is a hard role because, like, especially for me, with someone like you who knows so much, like, a part of me wants you to tell me, like, this is what you need to do, but I'm really stubborn.
Mhm.
So part of me, like, I don't want you to tell me what to do.
Yeah, I think
So,
absolutely. And
you know?
we come across this all the time. 'Cause
Right.
when she first started running more frequently, I'm my pace is much faster, my distance is longer. I feel like I know way more than her, but as a runner, we can all appreciate that only you know what's going on with you at that moment. Like,
yeah.
what brought you those 6 miles, 8 miles, how hard something was. As a woman, it's a lot of the stories I hear from Destiny are just like, I'm getting harassed, and it's like mentally messes with me.
Mm-hmm.
She's out running and she gets harassed in the middle of a run. Like, I have no appreciation for that. I mean, I have
Right.
appreciation for it happening, but I have nothing to like latch onto and say, oh, I've had a similar experience while I run.
Oh, do you
Because
remember,
I
like
can
when
mentally-
I almost got my iPhone jacked?
Yeah,
On
or
Sunday,
when like
yeah.
a Russian van pulls up alongside
Yeah.
you to steal you and send you
Mhm.
into sex
Yeah.
slavery,
Yeah.
or people who comment on your ass while you run. I certainly don't deal with that. Though what I'm saying is there's a lot of things that you just have to trust that she may know better in the situation. And we've had a recent role reversal. I used to be the fast person.
Right.
Right.
I used to be the long distance person. And respecting where your compadre is in their training, where they're at with physically, mentally, especially, just letting them live in that space, because a lot of running is mental blockage, and no one's going to yell you out of that. You really have to get yourself
Yeah.
out of that.
Yeah.
And it's been recently, we go out for a long run and she holds back to stay up with me, and I have to say, listen, you run fucking fast. Go
Yeah.
run. Jeez.
Yeah.
I can't hold you back, because if you run my pace, you're not training as hard as you should be training.
And I do.
Like,
I
you're
smoke
not going to
'em.
meet your goals if you hold back with me.
I
Adam.
smoke them.
I don't mean to interrupt, but people, I did say chug, and people are like, you didn't chug it.
Oh,
You sipped it like a pussy. I finished this, I think, in less than like 5 minutes. This is really difficult to chug. This is winter ale. I'm sorry. I did not abide by the rules.
it's not winter yet, though.
It is not winter, but
So you can't chug it.
But the beer is.
I think the results are still the same. I'm not gonna lie. I did finish this much faster than I anticipated. It's just not clicking in. So
I think your viewers are cute.
yeah, I think my viewers are adorable.
They're very cute. They notice
Um,
everything.
He didn't chug it. He sipped it. I was like, I'm pretty sure I drank the shit out of that. This is a Hub, which is Hopworks Urban Brewery in Portland, Oregon. They make incredible beer. I remember having a couple of their other IPAs and stuff like that. What is the percent on this? I think it's almost 8%. Yeah, 7.3%, 70 IBU. That explains the hoppiness of that. You don't want to fucking just like chug that shit. That's good beer.
You can't really chug beer in the Northwest.
And unfortunately, that's a non. I didn't realize it, but that is a non-chuggable, delicious beer. And I unfortunately drank that way too fast. A number of questions in the chat room, all sorts of questions, and we're just trying to play catch up here, guys.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
You guys plug through. We'll drink.
But what's incredible is these two have incredible stories, and we wanted to highlight them for the longest time because they are my best friends. But they also have an experience that many of you can relate to, which is you never thought you were runners. You never thought you could do distances, whether it was a 5K, 10K, half marathon, even a full marathon. When I first met these guys, I did improv and comedy with Justin years ago, well before I started running. And when I started running, it was kind of foreign. Many of you can probably relate. When you start running, it just kind of becomes part of your lifestyle. And when you talk to non-runners or people who just don't really get it, they kind of tune out. You can say like, oh, I ran 6.8 miles today, and I'm going to run like another 10 tomorrow. They don't really get it. these are my friends, and they didn't get it at a point, but for some reason, I don't know what clicked, what switch went off in your guys' mind, but you were like, you know what? Let's try this. Let's do this running thing. And they did, and now they totally get it. They're into the marathon bug. They've got that running sensation where they want to go out and they want to put in the miles and they want to hurt and they want to feel it. And their journey has been incredible. And here's a thing that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time, but I have not. You don't know where people are in their journey. I'm in the middle of my journey. Justin's in the middle of his. Destiny's in the middle of hers. Kim's in the middle of hers. So for you to judge someone by where they are in their journey, it's tough. You can't do it.
Can't do it.
Everyone out there, everyone who's watching, you're in the middle of your journey. I've gotten emails from people who are like, dude, you're a hobby jogger, or you don't take this seriously. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of my journey and I take this more seriously than you could ever imagine. And I guarantee you, everyone here that's sitting in front of the camera and those of you who are sitting at home watching, I know you take it just as seriously. This is something that matters to you. You love what you do. You love running. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this show and trying to live in the same moments that we all live in and try to accomplish. Finishing a marathon or finishing an ultra. We have people like Chris Vargo who are also watching, who is an elite runner, and he works his ass off to be the fastest person out in the field. But we also have people who might be the last person. Might be the person who's finishing or crossing the finish line the last place,
Third last,
or the third to last, or the second to last because I'm 2 seconds behind you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter. We all enjoy the mileage together, and it's the booze talking because I'm really passionate about it, and I bet to you about it.
Hug. Should we all hug?
I'm serious. It's something that's really been bugging me lately. It's like, if you don't get that this is a journey for everybody, then you don't get it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you think you might know what is happening, you don't. It's a journey for everybody, and everyone's journey is different.
Yeah.
That is 100% the abominable winter ale talking. So I thank you guys for that.
It's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
You have to respect that you have no idea where she is right now or where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
You have to respect that they're on the path, that they're working towards, they're getting better, or they're getting worse and they're learning. They're doing different things. It's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing that we do.
Anytime I've ever gotten a negative comment, I use that as fuel.
Oh, you have to.
And just go, I'm going to show you. And and the biggest one for me was right when I was on the train going up to run my first half, the BMO, and I was sitting behind these 4 women, and they were also running, and I just thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to bond with these ladies. I'm pretty social, and they wanted really nothing to do with me, and I think it's
That was my phone.
because
It's okay.
Went into there.
Into the water? Oh my God! Sorry, my mom is calling me.
Oh,
Isn't she
Mom's
watching? She should
always,
be watching.
she wants to say hello.
I
to
don't
me.
think they can get. They normally just can't get it to work.
Oh.
I'll be totally honest, because they have
My
an
mom's
iPad.
watching.
If they
it.
click the
Hi,
button,
Mom.
if they click the button,
No, it's usually on an iPad, and it's usually tough. to
Anyway,
figure
I just use it. I just use it as fuel.
out.
That's what you have
Go
to
for
do.
it.
You have
know.
to. And
Yeah.
that was,
I've had people tell me that
They-
I don't
those 4 ladies
respect
were-
it, or I don't, take it
Sorry.
seriously.
Yeah.
I respect it and take it seriously for exactly what I.
you
I
don't
take
have
it
to
very
be a
seriously.
sub 3-hour marathoner to take it seriously. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, but everybody is different. Every training schedule is different, and everyone is in a different place in their journey.
I've never run fatter in my life, and it makes such a huge difference.
Yeah.
Like, my time is shit because
Yes, of course. But at the same point, it's a journey that you are, again, in the middle of.
absolutely.
You don't know where you're going to be a year from now, let alone 5 years from now. You could be running 50-mile, 100-mile races.
Well,
5
that's
years from now.
what's
You
great.
don't
Like,
know.
my legs have never been stronger. Like,
Exactly.
Like, I have, things are good in some instances. And some things are bad.
Is this a penis tip? I don't. What?
Yeah. It's
Yes,
a
okay.
penis thing. It's a penis thing.
People were. Oh, sorry.
No. Get chat room.
I was gonna say people have been asking about our gear for the race.
Yeah,
Touch
I
on
wanted
it?
to answer on this, and we
No,
can
yeah.
transfer this
Sorry.
into the Portland Marathon as well, because, well, just gear in general is always a really important question, and this is something that when I was first starting out, or when I was even in the middle of my training schedules for early races, I just wanted to know what people wore.
Yeah.
Kim, what did you wear for your first 50K? I'm shit-faced. I'm okay.
I did.
Not
I wore
terribly,
my-
but pretty close.
I wore my Pearl Izumi Trail N2s, which is what I've been training in. I've essentially just been training in the Pearl Izumi Trail N2s and N1s, kind of going back and forth. The N2s are just a little meatier. So that's what I chose for shoes. And Gingy socks as always, same as you. Shorts, bra top were all Wazelle, or my Wazelle racing jersey, Wazelle long sleeve shirt. And Ultimate Direction Jenny Vesta. And for fuel, I just did Tailwind as well as Goo Gels and Goo Octane. And what else? I think that's. Oh, and my Bia watch.
Noon hat.
Noon hat, Bia watch.
Bia watch.
Which
Yeah, mostly Wazelle clothing.
my Bia watch actually had something cool happening with it this weekend.
Yeah, it was like a beta test.
Yeah, it was a beta test for their live tracking through their watch specifically. So we sent the links to our family and some of our friends, and they were able to track us kind of for the most part of the day, which was kind of cool.
It was cool. We were tracking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my family, Justin, Destiny, your family
My
was
parents,
tracking you. It was
yeah.
pretty cool. Can't wait to see what Via does with that live tracking feature.
Yeah, probably in the
It's
next
great.
week or two, I'll have something up on my blog about the watch itself and about kind of the direction they're taking it in. So,
But it also made me kind of clue into the fact that that is the future. I want people to be able to track us even on our training runs.
Yeah.
To be able to tune in and go, oh, okay, I see him. He's doing like a 10K or he's doing a 10 miler, and I see exactly where he's going. And you can watch live. You know, I can't wait for the future where I can actually have a camera mounted somewhere and people can watch.
where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the hyperlapse film, now the 10-mile hyperlapse film, I'm going to release it this week. That is it. You guys helped us reach the Team UNICEF goal.
So awesome.
I'm going to release it this week. I can't wait. That is awesome. I wore Ultra Lone Peak 2.0s. I dropped the review a couple of weeks ago. I actually really enjoyed them. I thought they were really great shoes for trail running, and I thought this would be a pretty good race to test them out on. Sand, mud, dirt,
Hard pack, soft pack.
hard pack, soft pack, not necessarily technical, but I knew that they could handle technical no problem. So that was my shoe choice. I just wanted to test them out. It wasn't because like, oh, this is the best shoe that I'm wearing at the moment. It was just like, you know what, this is a really good trail shoe. Let's give it a shot. It worked out actually really good. Really, really good. I felt like I kind of burned through the EVA by the end of the race, but
That's right.
I had already put maybe 100 miles on them up to that point. Pretty brutal miles. Shorts, Pearl Izumi, the ultra short without the interior leggings. They're just my go-to. They're awesome. You can put tons of storage in either side pocket and the back pocket. Love them. Backpack was the Solomon 5L. I have yet to find a pack that even compares to that pack. With the bladder, 2 bottles up front. The top was the Ginger Runner Train Race Beer custom top that I have. Hopefully we'll be offering those in the Ginger Runner store very soon, which is exciting. I'll probably do a pre-order on those.
Can we get XXL on
We'll
those?
get XXL on those. The sizes, they'll be all sizes. I believe it'll be a Follow Me to Beer. And it won't say the Ginger Runner on the front. It'll probably say like Train Race Beer or something like that. Because, you know, I don't want you guys to have to wear stuff that says the Ginger Runner. Because not all of you are gingers. I'll make something pretty cool. So
Are you the Ginger Runner?
I am the Ginger Runner. So I'll make something pretty cool. But it's a great shirt. It worked out really well. The Ginger Runner Buff, which will be coming out soon.
That's what I forgot. How did I
You were
forget
wearing one
to
of those
list
as well, and I'm pretty sure that's it. And the Rainshadow Running hat. That was pretty much my gear. If you guys have any other specific
Beautiful
questions,
I like those hats.
Sunto, yeah, Sunto Ambit 2. I just love the
And-
Sunto Ambit 2.
To answer the questions about this top earlier, this is also
Wazelle.
Wazelle
Yeah.
Birds of a Feather.
Destiny, what did you wear for the Portland Marathon? Kind of what was your gear choice? Shoe-wise?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to be as specific as you, but I always run in Hokas now
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
I developed PF issues early on in my training, and it terrifies me to ever get that again. And their Hokas are, I credit them with helping me heal my PF. So Hoka shoes, the Conquest,
Do you
I
remember
believe.
which ones?
I think the Conquest.
Yeah, I think it was a
Sure.
Conquest, yeah.
They were great. They're really great. And I always cover my legs because I have on occasion fallen
Yeah.
more than I like to admit. So I'm terrified of falling and really getting road rash. So I wore there's a place here in town called Roadrunner, and I like their brand of clothing. It's affordable, and so I just ran in like a purple fitted shirt from them, short sleeves with some compression skins on my arms, and just one of those little cute skirts, those with the leggings underneath. It was just super comfortable to run in, and no hat. And I took my Camelback, my trail running Camelback.
Nice, awesome.
And I
that's a real simple backpack, right? Like
yeah,
nothing
it's
too
very
heavy.
lightweight.
Super simple.
It's very lightweight.
Yeah, essentially carries your water.
Mhm.
Great.
And because I didn't want to rely on aid stations, because when I get thirsty, I'm thirsty now, and I don't want to wait a mile.
Exactly.
So yeah, so I was one of the few people running just a full marathon with the Camelback, but I did that, and I was
better to be
glad.
self-sufficient.
Mhm.
You know,
Take care of yourself first.
Yeah, I'll
Mhm.
probably run the New York in my Solomon 5L because I also bring the GoPro, so I need something to store the GoPro in. But it's just nice to kind of have that extra storage.
Mhm.
And New York is one of those marathons that's so big.
Yeah.
It could take an extra hour just to pick up a bag at the end of the race. So I'm like,
Right.
you know what? I'll just carry everything with me.
Yeah.
Smart.
No
Yeah.
big deal. Like, who cares if you're wearing a hydration pack? Whatever.
I will- yeah.
Jelly. I want to do that race.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be hard.
And my
I can now thank you guys for helping me reach the goal. I'm really, really excited.
and my backpack matched the color of my shoes, which I was really excited about, which is not salmon color, it's called coral.
Being matchy helps.
It'd be matchy is good,
It shaves
Yeah.
off a good 3 minutes.
but I will never ever
that true?
run.
Is that where I went wrong?
It's a
It's
statistic.
good. I will never ever run that kind of distance again without taking KT tape with me, because none of the aid stations had KT tape, and at mile 16 I started having a knee issue,
Yeah.
which I never have, and I really needed some support, and I don't know why that morning I took it out, and I was just like, oh, I need to go all lightweight.
Yeah.
I took it out. I will never run without strips of KT tape again.
What's funny is that Crewing States, if you guys haven't watched the film on Ginger Runner, the YouTube channel, Crewing States, we have Sally McRae coming through aid station. Ooh, it's like 50. No, I'm sorry. It might be closer to the 70s. It's Forest Hill aid station during the Western States 100. Her knee is busted. She's been running downhill so much at that point in the race. Her knee is just blown out. She needed KT tape. She needed some sort of tape to kind of help put her patella back into place. And we scoured and scoured, and the Ultra Runner podcast, they were there on location, and they just happened to have, Trail Runner Nation. I'm so terribly sorry. The Trail Runner Nation guys had the tape on hand that we could just apply to Sally's leg, and they did, and it pretty much saved Sally's race. I mean, like, if she had it in her safety medical bag, but they just happened to have it on hand, and they like knew exactly what to do with the taping and stuff like that. Saved her race. I mean, it totally changed her perspective on everything. Yeah.
So I stopped at 4 aid stations trying to get some sort of flexible tape. All they had was that really rigid,
The
sticky
athletic
tape.
white tape. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, and I was just like, downhill was murder, and I much preferred running uphill. But after my knee started feeling like glass, that was right when you hit that steep hill under the bridge, and I told myself, I started to freak out, and like Kim, I started having an anxiety attack because I'm like, I'm on the track. There's nothing I can do. People drove all the way from Seattle to support me. My husband's there, my friend, they made signs. I have to finish. And I felt my heart rate really start to pump. And I was like, you need to calm down immediately. You're going to finish. You're going to get in the middle of this bridge that everybody talks about. You're going to take a selfie. And you're
Bridge
gonna
you have to run up at mile 18.
And you're going to smile, and you're going to post it to Facebook, and you're going to let everybody know how happy you are to be running this race. And just that thought pulled me onto the bridge, and I just was gritting my teeth through it. Stopped at 4 aid stations, like I said. One of my best friends ran me the last 3 miles in, and just seeing him just like getting a burst of adrenaline, going only 3 miles, and it could have been another 26 miles. I don't care. But the heartbreaker for me was after the race. Justin said, we were sitting in a bar, and I was in a daze. And he said, are you ever going to run another marathon? And I said, no, I think really That's enough for me. And I was convinced while I was sitting there that I had made my personal goal, which was anything under 5 hours. Anything
Those
under
are
5
bronze
hours.
goal.
Yeah.
Like your
I wanted 420, but I hit 420 at mile 23, and I knew I wasn't, and I had to give it up, and it
Right.
hurt so bad letting that go. But I was like, but I only have 3 miles, and I can certainly do this, in 40 minutes. It's no problem. You're not thinking quite right. I guess
Right.
your brain uses all kinds of carbs too. And just then the race results got posted, and I checked my phone, and my official time, 5 hours and 1 minute exactly.
Yep.
I was ready to cry, and I just knew in that moment I had to take it all back. I have to do one more.
You have to do another one. Yeah. 61 seconds.
that's
I was telling you
that's
the other
gonna
night,
turn into like
61 seconds is like 2 or 3 seconds per mile. Like
yeah.
that, you
Heart-
can take care of that.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah. hmm
That's like wiping after you pee. That's essentially that time.
It was crazy.
Kim
Uh,
told me that.
A couple of good
Mhm.
questions in the chat room. People are talking about rock tape. Sticks better than KT tape. I have not used rock tape, but I know I'm very familiar with the brand. I know that they do a good product.
There's been a couple schedule questions about do we post our
Post our schedules.
We think we both do. Mine's really behind.
Mine is also very behind. Both of our websites also post schedules for our races. I have not posted for my 2015 schedule.
Yeah, my schedule's really behind.
2015 is still unfolding, but it's going to be a big year, which I'm excited about. Same with you. Yeah, for both of us.
Mhm.
And you guys, I know, are going to be picking
Yeah.
some races in 2015, which I'm excited about.
We got nothing.
Yeah, right.
We're done.
501.
We're done running.
There's 61 seconds you still
Yeah.
need to fight back for.
I think we're gonna do the Fairbanks.
We might do
Oh,
Alaska
Alaska.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be incredible.
in June instead. Train through the winter
Yeah.
instead of train through the summer, which was brutal.
Oh, it's tough. 'Cause
Global
you're dealing
warming.
with heat. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're dealing with heat.
And we both are just lame.
We're delicate flowers.
People are also saying that I cannot wear a hydration pack at New York. That is fine. I'm cool with that. I do have a camera setup that does not require a pack. Sorry, no, where I can put the camera in the back. So if
You're
that is,
unallowed? You're not allowed to?
But
I
it
know
makes
that there were-
sense.
Yeah, like at San
Yeah.
Francisco, there's size restrictions, so it would make sense at a huge race like
I
that.
get
so
it.
You don't want packs.
yeah, they want to restrict how much stuff you bring into the corral because they don't want to have to like security check
What
everyone's
about
hydration pack.
parachutes?
Parachutes are
They're
allowed.
fine.
Okay.
Only if you parachute
Yeah.
in.
What about bringing your own Uber, just in case?
Yeah, you're
like,
on Uber.
just follow me through the race.
I need you to
Just
carry
in
me
case.
home. So I'm cool with not wearing the hydration pack. I do have an alternative camera carrying method so I can document the whole
It's
thing.
me on your back.
It's Kim sitting on my head wearing one of the
Pour water,
headbands around
Kim.
her waist or something like that. Oh no. Okay, so that's actually a good point. I'm glad that you guys brought that up. With the Hokas, there was another question about the Hokas. Or hey Ethan, have you ever done a Tough Mudder? If you have not, would you do it in the future? I did yes, I've done
You
I've
did
done
the
a Tough
zombie
Mudder.
run?
But I also did a zombie run, and you know what? They're cool. OCRs are cool. I get it. I get the draw to obstacle course races. It's not necessarily something that I will do continually. I might do another one in the future. Who knows?
I think they're like obstacle course races are a fun way to get people who are non-runners or
Yeah.
beginner runners kind of into learning or into finding out what it's like to run an organized.
And to also like get
Run.
fit.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about running in those races. You know, you need to be able to do pull-ups and push-ups and
Mhm.
all sorts of like core work and swimming. And I will probably do another one in the future. They're just not, I hate to say this. They're not hard enough. They're hard. Well, I already said it. They're hard, but it's like, give me something that challenges me more mentally. Like the ultras, why I do ultras is because they challenge me every time I even start one. You don't know if you're going to finish. With a Tough Mudder, it's like, okay, well,
You're probably gonna.
I'll probably finish. And I'll probably get that beer at the finish line, and I'll be able to wear the horns, whatever.
They're fun, though.
They're fun. I mean,
They're
it's
fun
more.
to-
That's more of like
yeah.
a team thing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. That's what
yeah.
I was gonna say. They're
Yeah.
fun to do with your friends. They're fun. They're a great camaraderie. They're fun.
yeah. Did you guys do the one? You guys have a group of friends that do Tough Mudders up here, right? Or is it like
Yeah.
Tough Mudders, or is it one of
Warrior
the
Dash.
Warrior
Warrior.
Dash?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And how long is it? Like how
I
many
don't know.
miles?
I've never done it.
Oh, okay.
It depends. I think the
3.
Warrior Dash up here is like 10.
Yeah, it could be anywhere from like
11.
3 to 12
Is
miles.
it
I
that
think.
long?
Yeah.
I think
Oh.
it's different for every single one. It could be
depends on the
long or
course
it could
that
be
they
Oh,
short.
I thought they were all 5Ks with puddles of
No,
water
no,
and
no, no.
See, that's
barbed wires.
what I
A
thought
Tough
too.
Mudder is 13
Oh.
miles.
Yes,
right?
Tough Mudder. some of them are 12 miles, some of them are shorter, but also it depends on what course you guys run.
I want to do. I think it'd be fun, and all of our friends have fun.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. If you do it with a group of people, it's an awesome party. Like the zombie run I did a video. It's on Ginger Runner, the YouTube page. It's a couple years old. I did it with a bunch of friends, and it was a blast. I had a great time. I mean, you're dodging like the electrocution chambers, and you're like going through the water and the mud, and it was a blast. But it was also like a really short blast. It was like, oh, hey, that 2 hours or that one hour was like really fun. But that's it. Like with ultras, you're out there all day and you're really challenged, like mentally, physically. There's just it's a whole nother level.
CJ Burden makes a good point. Anything that gets people off their asses.
I totally agree.
We are
I
definitely on
1,000%
board with that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
It just may not be our bag.
Arun says, and Arun also posted a really great interview with me today on myfoxny.com. Ethan, security last year at New York City was quite tight. Wanding, cops telling people to toss bags, etc. There were piles and piles of discarded belongings near the shuttle buses.
Wow.
All right, well, I'm bringing very little then. I don't want to lose any of my shit because it's
Just bring your gumption, you'll do just fine.
Bring my gumption?
Yeah, your gumption, dude.
Hey
That's all you
man,
need.
I'm sorry, officer. I've got gumption. This pack is full of gumption.
And it's explosive.
It's explosive.
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa.
whoa.
Okay, I can drink a beer.
Oh, it's true.
Chemosabi75 says the death hours expected the unexpected. What is the death race? I'm
Like
familiar
the
with the
Canadian
Canadian death race, which
I
is
think he means the movie Death Race.
oh my god, with Sylvester Stallone, like early Sylvester. Christopher Lucania. I just did Spartan World Champs in Vermont this year, 60.4 miles. Wow,
Yeah,
9,000 feet of elevation.
Spartans are serious races.
Wow. Temps down to 30 degrees, 200-yard swim in 50-degree water,
What?
30 plus obstacles. Believe me, I question finishing. Holy shit, that actually sounds terrible. That didn't even sound remote. Okay, yeah, no, I'm on board with that. 16.4 miles with 9,000 feet of elevation gain, plus 30 plus obstacles. That sounds
Nuts.
terrible.
Mm.
I want to do it. I need to do my upper body.
I'll learn how to swim.
Well, that's the thing. Swimming, I can't swim.
Me either.
You can drown for 50 yards. Sorry for typos. New York City cops was tight with the spectators too. All right, so that must have been last year. I imagine they're going to be the same this year at the marathon. It's just they can't pull any risk. Multiple questions. Sorry, guys, we're trying to get to all of them here.
No, please.
Are you going to change any elements of your training for your next 50K, Kim, or are you happy with how it went? Says Max Easterbrook.
I really felt like
I'm
my
going to have you
training.
hold that because I actually have to pee.
Oh, there's no pee breaks in this.
There's so many
you're going to need this. You're going to need this pee break if you don't.
baby.
baby, you got it.
Max. No, I think my training was really spot on for the first time for this race. I've been working with a coach since last February, and it's been going good. Like every long run has been good. Every back-to-back has been good. My nutrition has been good. Everybody is leaving the room. Everybody has left the room.
I have to pee too. I have to drain it.
All right, so this is my show now. Welcome to milelonglegs.com. This is Mile Long Legs. Sorry, to finish up your question. Yeah, no, I don't. The only thing that's really going to be changing for training for orcas is definitely more climbing. There's a ton of climbing in orcas, so I'm definitely going to have to get that more dialed in than where I'm at now.
I was surprised to hear that the elevation that you had to do.
Yeah,
Because I just pictured you running for 50K on the beach with your long hair flowing behind you. I had no idea that you were gonna do over 4,000, 5,000 feet of elevation.
it's about 5,000. That's what our watches clocked it at, about 5,000 gain. So yeah, it was a day. What else? Yeah, I know I've been abandoned. I know I must have said something. Oh, Destiny's here
Your
now,
viewers are so cute, though.
That's good.
They really like you guys.
Somebody is asking, Brandon Harbert was asking, Ginger Runner, how is it running at someone else's pace and not your own? let me tell you, Brandon, it was difficult for me not to feel like I was being a burden on Ethan all day on Saturday. We went into this well knowing that, you know, Ethan would obviously have to be slowing to my pace. So he kind of prepared for that. He prepared for a longer day on his feet.
These are things I think it's so interesting that you and Ethan have your own blogs, because I think women issues are, as runners, are definitely different than men's. Because I don't know if you, I don't think Justin is ever worried if he's run at my pace, but I do when we run together and he's having a great day. I work like, oh, am I holding him back? I, you know, like that's a thing that women do. Probably not all women, but you know, if you, we do.
When Ethan and I train, when we are in the same city, we often don't run together. We pretty much never run together unless it's like kind of like an easy fun run.
Yeah.
I would rather him go and get his training in at the quality that he needs to, and I'd rather me do the same. So the fact that I don't want to like push myself harder to keep up with him, and I don't want him to slow his training down to what I'm doing.
We should totally look it through here and see if there's a question for Ethan, and then you should answer for Ethan. But
somebody's asking if Ethan held my hair for me. No, he filmed me. He filmed it.
Oh shoot, Ethan.
I'm back. That entire duration was straight pee. There was no break.
TMI.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
whatever.
P&T.
We deal with running here, so everything's TMI. All right, what am I?
I already answered this question. Brandon asked, how is it running at someone else's pace? And I kind of said that we had gone into it knowing that it was going to be a different kind of day for you.
I knew that it was going to be, I wasn't going to run at my pace. I was going to run at Kim's pace. I wanted to consider it just
a long day of time on feet.
Yeah, a long time on feet day, a long training run. I'm not, where's the hole on this? I want to make sure that the mic is facing the right direction. For me, I have 2 races coming up that are pretty big to me. The New York Marathon is a big race to me. Yes, it's a road marathon. It's not an ultra, but it's such a legendary marathon that I didn't want to just show up and be like, let's just half-ass it. I didn't want to run through Oregon Coast 50K and just like blow myself out, and then do the New York Marathon and then not have anything left. And then the North Face 50 miler in December is the race feet for a longer period of time, which is it's just good training. Meryl asked this. I'm gonna put this out there. I'm gonna shoot. Oh yeah, it's already saying that the connection is experiencing some difficulties.
No.
I am going to shoot for a PR in New York because it's a fairly flat course. The San Francisco Marathon, which is the last marathon that I ran, was very hilly, and I was within 2 seconds of a PR. So to me,
2 seconds, but
fucking 2
you
seconds.
gotta stop that.
So New York to me might be a really good opportunity to like push the marathon PR and just see what I can do. I'm not gonna like, well, I don't want to say not. I don't know what's gonna happen that day. I could really push from the very beginning, or I could just like push really hard and see what ends up happening towards the end. The North Face 50 miler is my last race of the year, and I want that to be kind of the big one. I did a 50-mile PR there last year in 10:40 something, and I want to try to do really well there this year. So I don't want to blow everything out the first week in November. So we'll see what happens. But this was a really good opportunity for me to just put the time in, get a long training run, and enjoy the experience with you. And it was still really hard. I'm not going to say it was easy. I mean, try running a race at someone else's pace for 31 miles, and it's just going to be tough. It's going to be difficult no matter what. So that was a really great experience.
Said, where did we go? I wonder.
Oh no!
Are we back?
I hope that we're back. Aaron Enick says, where did you guys go? I hope that the internet is still working. Aaron, there is a lot of info that we would need to give you solid. This is from a previous question.
Else, yeah.
Hoka's leg ankle problems. Any advice? Yeah, Aaron. I mean, a lot of people have been asking for specific shoe advice questions, like, do I choose this one? Is this a good shoe or anything like that? It's tough to give you advice if you don't if I don't see how you run, if I don't know what shoes you're currently running in, or how long you've been running, or what distance you've been running in.
We're also not doctors.
Oh, I am.
Kim's a doctor.
Oh, actually, yeah, Kim is a doctor.
Kim does have a medical degree in doctor. But it really depends person to person. Some people benefit from certain shoes because of certain medical things. So
Yeah.
It's a very personal
It's
thing. You need to
100%
just really
personal.
get out there, try on as many shoes as you possibly
A
can.
good start though was when you took me to, or told me to go to Roadrunner.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had me run on a treadmill. They videotaped it. We reviewed it slow-mo, and they could see my gait. That was very
any kind of store
helpful.
like that will kind of
Mhm.
analyze your running
Yeah.
gait and do that.
I mean, I can say for Destiny Hoka 1-1s, they complement her short foot, her wide toe box. They work really well for her.
yeah.
It's a great way of saying I have Flintstone feet, and that's cool. I do. I have got Flintstone
She
feet.
is Twinkle Toes Flintstone. Over
I like
here.
Hokas. It's cool.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I love the Cliftons, the Hoka Cliftons. You saw my review of them. They're some of my favorite road shoes. I'll most likely wear those or the Ultra One Squared in New York. I haven't decided which ones I'm going to wear. The Cliftons are amazing, super light, super cushion shoes, and the Ultra One Squared are super light, more minimal, but also very cushioned, wide toe box shoes. So I haven't decided which one I'm going to wear, but whichever ones are going to get me the PR, I think it's kind of.
I think you should just wear my shoes. They're fast.
Or I'll just wear yours, size 8. Little geisha shoes.
Christopher asked for our next 50K. Are we going to be sticking together or running at your own pace?
Running
Definitely
at our
running our
own
own pace.
Yeah. It's not because we don't want to run
I'll
together.
probably beat him.
Kim will most
It's
actually.
really
It's true.
heartbreaking
It's
for
true.
him.
And that was actually a lot earlier in the chat room. People were like, Ethan, what's it going to feel like when Kim starts beating your PRs? I will 100% support Kim. The second Kim starts beating my PRs, I'm not going to be like the jealous boyfriend or the jealous husband or whatever. It's like, fuck. She finally realizes how fast she fully is capable of going. She's really fast, by the way. I will support you 100%.
I think it goes back to the earlier question of how do you get your wife into running, your girlfriend into running, whatever it is. You support where they're at.
You have to.
Destiny's been kicking my ass
Yeah.
for 4 months now.
She's killing it.
And doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, you just have to
Doesn't
accept
bother
it.
me at all.
As
I
soon
want
as
her
Kim
to
will
run
be
faster.
than
I
me.
want her to run faster more than I want myself to run faster.
I believe it. It's the same thing. Kim running downhills, it's enough for me to try to even keep up with you. And in my mind, I'm going, oh my God, this is amazing. I have a fiance, future wife, that's going to run fucking fast down hills and like kick people's asses. I'm super excited. So I hope you beat me. I hope you beat my times.
We have a cheesecake question in the chat room.
Oh, where did that go? Do you
I
ship
didn't-
the cheesecakes to the East Coast?
Yeah, we ship cheesecakes anywhere that FedEx delivers. I will say, unfortunately, the shipping is not inexpensive. To the East Coast, we ship 2-day. So 48 hours is max that they can be in the mail. We have to build a little refrigerator for them to travel in.
That's true, yeah.
And I think they're worth it, but it depends on
They're totally worth it. Yes, they ship to the East Coast.
Yeah,
Don't listen to this lady.
you
It's worth the cost.
You can
Go to theconfectional.com.
You can choose your cheesecakes. Unfortunately, our website is kind of on
It's
the
worked
older side.
great. It's theconfectional.com. CONFECTIONAL.com. The website's fine. Don't listen to her. She's their marketing director. She's gonna bitch about everything about the fucking company. The company.
Kimosabe75, what is your first name? If you do end up ordering, I'm gonna get your first name here, and I'll just say Destiny. If we get their first name, will you throw in a couple like pumpkin cheesecakes or like the blood or whatever?
Yeah, well, the great thing about our website is, even though it's a little on the older side,
It's fine.
is you can select what flavors you want.
Hey.
You get 16. You can choose 16
You
different
can
flavors.
hand select them.
Hey.
We ship 16 or 20, and yeah. So I was just gonna say, shipping to the East Coast is you're looking at about $55.
Don't say things. Go to the website and order.
I don't want him to waste his time, be surprised at the end, but you know it is worth
please
it.
stop it.
You're shipping a perishable
Okay,
product
so
across.
next question.
Anyway, buffs. Let's talk about buffs.
Buffs.
I love the buffs.
The buffs will be shipping hopefully next week. If I get them delivered by this Friday and or Monday, I should be able to get some of them out hopefully before I leave for New York. I mean, that's the thing is I leave for New York on Thursday. next week. Friday.
I
But
don't
you
wanna
arrive on.
I arrive on
close my
Wednesday.
eyes.
I want to get them all out by next
don't
week.
wanna fall asleep 'cause I miss you, baby.
So they ship to Chicago? I will be
Yeah.
ordering, says Aaron Emick.
The
Emick,
buffs or
Emick.
the
Cheesecakes.
Okay, great.
If anybody has any trouble, you can email me destiny@theconfectional.com.
Holy, yeah.
Yeah, I hope you guys take advantage because I mean, I'm
Seriously,
not even
they're
lying.
the
They're the best cheesecakes. you'll
Whoopi
taste.
Goldberg's been ordering them for years.
It's true.
For
That's true.
years.
That's the truth. I didn't want to say that. Is that allowed to be said?
Yeah, I mean, it's completely organic. I didn't say it, so.
That's right. That's right. Destiny, the employee, the co-owner, did not say it. Justin did.
Yeah,
That is
Yeah.
true.
Whoopi Goldberg.
And I know many of you
Yeah.
are just waiting for the Whoopi approval.
Oh, right.
Does Whoopi run in
I'm many
Hokas?
Does she run in Hawkins?
Does she run in Ultras? Is she a Saucony girl? What is Whoopi running?
I think high heels.
Solomon.
That with clear stilettos. I mean, I follow her on Facebook, and it is amazing what she is whooping.
Oh my God, we have 94. It says we have 94 live viewers. We had 170 about 20 minutes ago. The people who left are missing out on the Whoopi conversation. They're lost. They left when I wasn't chugging
We just gained 2 viewers.
the empty
Okay.
bottle of water.
Cute. Hello, 2 new viewers.
Hello.
We'll answer like 1 or 2 more questions. We're gonna go grab some food and grab some dinner and stuff like that. Where's the wedding? Ask spirits in nature. And they also asked a question earlier. When are you guys getting married? Where is the wedding, guys?
Yeah.
Ooh, this is
When are you guys getting
When are
married?
you guys getting
When are you guys
married?
getting married?
Mine is 7 years ago.
Oh, wait, I think they're talking about you.
I have to
guys.
say,
You
Justin and Destiny got married 7 years ago,
Mhm.
plus 4 days, 5 days, plus 5 days.
He knows our anniversary better than you do.
The reason I know it, the only reason I know their anniversary better than anything else is because the next morning I left for LA. I went to your wedding. I cried my ass off. I went home, and the next morning I woke up, got in my car, and drove to Los Angeles and changed my entire life. My LA anniversary is technically, it was yesterday because it took me 3 days to drive down.
Mhm.
I can't even believe it. Yesterday was my 7-year anniversary in Los Angeles. And today is my first day anniversary 7 years ago in Los Angeles, which is crazy. And I'm in Seattle. But you guys are some of the most inspirational people to me. You guys have been my best friends for years. And watching you guys become the couple that you guys are and work through what you guys work through and do what you guys do, especially with running and stuff like that, and watching your guys' journey and your progress has been incredible as a friend. It's been amazing, and I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for you guys, because I remember your wedding was like the pinnacle for me to like, these guys are doing it. They're living their life. They're embracing everything that is making them happy. I need to do the same thing, and I need to move to LA and just see what happens.
So then you move further away.
So I moved further away from you guys, plus you. This is also the same time that I met Kim.
Mm-hmm.
Was 7 years ago, at the exact same time. In fact, this might be our 7-year anniversary.
Maybe.
As far as we don't know the specific day that Kim stalked me on MySpace. It was MySpace that she met me. But she wrote
Stop
me.
being such a harsh
Yeah,
word.
it's such a harsh.
I'm sorry. Online.
You like what you like?
MySpace
My,
thing.
I'm sorry. Online.com. Kim found me 7 years ago. It was 7 years ago
He
in
was just
October.
sitting there by himself.
This poor man.
But it's
He
pretty
needs
cool.
some help.
It's pretty cool to see where we have ended up
Mm-hmm.
7 years later.
I can honestly say that you would not be where you are today simply because of how much money you save when you stay with us. It's like, it's gonna be $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 at this
You have
point.
no idea.
Not to
How
mention
many-
the
yeah.
sex palace that we've created
Yes.
for you and Kim.
Hi,
It's
Mom.
like the your fiance.
Well, those were incredibly sweet things, Ethan. And I just think that any couple, married or not, you're together for a while. It's your friends that really enrich your life, and you guys have definitely, obviously, enriched us. So
Mhm.
I've known you since you were 19.
A
Since
baby.
you were in diapers when you were
It's
19.
true.
Yes.
It's absolutely true. Justin and I, when we first met, we were not friends.
No, we didn't like each other.
Well, technically, you hated me.
I didn't like you.
I didn't know Justin. It wasn't until it was one of my earliest roommates introduced us, and we finally kind of sat down in the same room that Justin was like, wait a minute, I don't think this guy's terrible. Most people that first meet me probably think I'm an idiot or a douchebag or a fucking prick. That's just how I am. I come across that way. But when we kind of sat down and started talking,
no. Back in the day, yes, that was true, but not now.
It might still be the same case. No. I'm an angel. People love me all over. But when we first like sat down and started talking about comedy and kind of doing improv and like our goals and stuff like that, Justin and I hit it off at some point. We're like, let's do a show together. Let's do an improv 2-person show together. It changed our lives completely changed our lives.
But let's not talk about the details of that show.
No, fuck no.
I'll just sit here and eat cheesecake.
You guys got engaged at that show. That was pretty cool.
So weird. None of us would be here if it weren't for that.
Max Eastbrook makes a great point. Should have moved to Vancouver. Far better than LA.
That's true, Max.
It is true, Max.
Vancouver, Washington.
That's a good thing.
It's a nightmare. But I will say, if I hadn't moved to LA, maybe this wouldn't still be happening. If I moved to Vancouver just for Kim or for other reasons, who knows? Maybe we wouldn't have met. There's coulda, shoulda, woulda. Thank you, Raul. Appreciate it. He says we kick ass. Appreciate it, Raul. Raul's a longtime fan and / viewer, always in the chat room.
I just read the article. It's great.
That was Arun.
Oh, sorry. Raul and Arun.
Raul and Arun. Aaron, I believe. Arun. I don't want to mispronounce it. I just Aaron. I don't know. But he is also a longtime viewer and just posted a review or an interview to myfoxny.com. You can go read that there. It's great. The guy's awesome. Also in his running journey and he's documenting his process and stuff like that. He's been a longtime viewer. Really, really cool guy. Really honored to be able to do that interview. We're gonna wrap it up.
I'm starving.
Yeah, we're really hungry. We have a lot of things that we saw planned for tonight. It's my last night in Seattle and Kim's last night in Seattle.
Like Catan, maybe.
Like Catan and beer, more beer, because this can is empty. You guys are amazing. Tonight's show was just, thank you so much. Not only for embracing Team UNICEF and helping me reach my goal tonight. I cannot believe it.
You did it!
Yes, but at the same point, Kim did it as well. Kim managed to complete her first 50K. I cannot wait to share the video with you guys.
Oh,
We'll see the footage. We haven't yet to look at the footage.
It's gonna be beautiful.
It'll be beautiful.
Your long hair
It may
flowing
not
on the
be
beach.
great.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be good. Hopefully inspiring. I have yet to kind of figure out the story to tell. Is it about us fighting, or is it about Kim conquering her demons? Yeah, it's gonna be about Kim.
Let's conquer demons.
Conquer demons. That's what I'm
I would like to see a little bit of Real Housewives of Vancouver.
just a little bit.
Can we just hyperlapse together all the dry heat?
Oh, it'll be a 31-mile hyperlapse. How about that? But for those of you who did donate to the Team UNICEF, I will write you all thank you messages, including links to probably 2 videos. The hyperlapse will be the first one. You guys get a sneak peek at it. I hope that works. I believe I have the ability to email you before anybody else. I want you guys to watch it before anyone else watches it. You guys deserve it. You guys did. Thank you so much. As well as a thank you video that I'm going to be putting up on the channel hopefully this week. It's just me going to thank you each individually. You'll be able to see that before anybody else. And I have to thank Destiny and Justin Sund for sitting down and talking to us as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to talk to them for a long time. They are in this incredible journey. They have come a long way and lost a lot of weight, lost a lot of pounds, worked the pavement to the bone, and have accomplished things that many of us hope to achieve and run marathon now. Like run your first marathon, run your 4th marathon, and the goals are still being set. So it's really, really cool to kind of get people in here to talk to you guys that are on the same journeys that you guys are on, that we're all on. I have to thank you all for watching live. It's a pretty cool experience to be able to sit here and talk to you guys and see you guys' comments and questions and all that kind of stuff. I really appreciate it. This thing continues to grow, and that inspires me. Justin and Destiny, where can people find you on social networks? Like, where can people follow you and follow your stories?
Well, the confessional is on the Facebooks.
In the tweets.
Yeah. Shoot, but yeah, just Destiny Sun on Facebook, and I'm not really public about my running journey. So I am. I'll share it
She
privately.
should be.
Yeah.
She should be, because I mean, your story is 100% relatable. You've lost a ton of weight.
Mhm.
You've worked your ass off to get you where you are. Same with Justin.
Yeah.
You guys are living the experience that so many people wish they could and don't necessarily have faith that they can do it. I guarantee you, after seeing these two do the journey that they have done and are continuing to move on in it, anybody can do it. We can all do it. Have faith, have inspiration, because these guys are the real deal.
Anybody can do it.
Mm-hmm. Justin, where can people find you?
At JustSund, JustSund. That's on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. Everywhere I go, JustSund. And I mean, if you want to see pictures of my cat and me running with my cat, food I make, food I like.
We do have a
beer,
great cat.
Lots and lots and lots and lots of beer.
We do have a great cat.
Yeah, that's it.
They have a great cat.
They have a great
They have
cat.
a great cat. The cat's great.
Rizzo is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rizzo.
And you can find him on the Facebook.
Congratulations on your first 50K.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, way to go, Kim. Woo!
Congratulations on your money stuffs. UNICEF stuff.
Congratulations.
Yeah, UNICEF.
On surviving my first 50K.
That was
It's
all you.
He's gonna survive a lot more.
I think we're gonna celebrate by going to Yogurtland.
Maybe somewhere to eat. First.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe some food before you go, but yes, Overland, definitely. Kim,
you guys.
where can people find you? What's last times?
Facebook.com/milelonglegs, Twitter @milelong_legs, Instagram Kimberly DT, that's KIMBERLEYDT, and my website milelonglegs.com.
For those of you who are still watching live, I'm gonna click disconnect here. Once it has disconnected, let me know what your favorite vegetable is. That's it. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite vegetable is. Who knows what might happen if you do comment.
What's your favorite
Because this is for those of you who
veggie?
are watching live. We had a dramatic drop once I said we were ending the show, so we now have 73 live viewers. What is your favorite vegetable? Maybe one of you might get a certain secret prize. Perhaps, because you guys are the hardcore fans that have stuck through to the very end. Thank you so much. Subscribe to this channel. You can pick up Ginger Running. You can find me on all the social networks over on Twitter. I'm going to slur it. Because
Buy his album. Go watch Squamish 50/50 17 more times. They're both really good things.
These are all good things.
Are we-
That's it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. You guys are great. Goodbye.